Oh, damn it, 47. It's not. Okay, let's try this again here. Let's get Jay back up in the mix. Get Jay right here. Jay Money. Start this up again. Oh shit. I don't want to send in no group. Oh, Jay Black.
Mandido, ¿qué pasó con tu live?
I had to take it down, bro. You know.
Oh,
I
porque
wasn't
los...
Yeah, I couldn't have baddies. The baddies show. Oh my god.
Ay, mi madre.
The
Bro,
baddies TikTok.
it's just getting good, bro. It's just getting good.
Nah. I dealt with that shit yesterday. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I can't believe she was on point. She came right when she hopped on.
You're like, how'd you get
Right
here?
when she started talking mess about Black Indigenous people is when she hopped on. Yo, and Tristic, man, you done missed out the cat fight. Yo, Divine, chill out, Divine. Let her talk her shit. Divine, it's not gonna hurt you. Don't let it get to you.
So she can talk her shit, but I can't talk mine.
Nah, it's not about
That
that.
makes sense.
But you don't wait. You see how you just jumped on her like that? Like, come on now.
You
Come
know
on
I
now.
do this for entertainment purposes. But if people want to go there, I can go there too. You know I'm from Memphis.
How were you just talking like that and waiting for your time to pounce?
No, you know I'm from Memphis. We the capital of roasting, and I'll go there with her fat back ass. We can go there.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
She can come on back up. I'm ready for a good roast. I was gone for 30 days.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know, Divine. I don't know.
No, you
We
know
had such a good conversation last
this
night.
Is like this is like the third time this happened to me. Like I just so happen to be scrolling on TikTok, and I don't know, maybe the algorithm just be knowing when people like saying my name or something. But like that would be the next person. Like I will scroll up and then boom, somebody be like, yeah, and then Divine, da, da, da. And then I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, why am I in this conversation? I haven't been here. And you was over there egging her on. You such a little instigator.
I was just talking about what happened last night.
Nah.
You know,
you an instigator.
I'll run it back. I don't care. If I respect both of you, but you guys don't respect each other. There's nothing I can do about it.
I respected her. I never said nothing to her until she started saying pretendian.
Come on, stop lying.
She said pretendian. I was like, what is that?
Oh my god. Anyway, if it don't apply, let it fly. You take everything a little too personal too. Her too. Don't get me wrong. She didn't have to respond every time. Every time you said something about what you're saying,
I think she was upset because when I said I was from Mississippi, that's when she got in her feelings. Because she was like, people in Mississippi are not indigenous.
She's from the areas that you keep talking about as them being indigenous, and same thing with the brother Arab, right? The Arab's like, oh, I ain't from there, and you guys had a good conversation. I bet he probably was on his phone with his mother after asking her questions, you know.
But I actually wanted
but it was good.
Before we lost the connection, I actually wanted to hear Divine out. I know people like to insult you guys, but I'm starting to listen to you guys, and I actually am starting to hear what you're saying, because when I look at, I was just watching I went to my friend's house, and their mom was watching, some old stories about the Bible, and they were all white people, and I'm like, well, obviously we know white people are not, they're not the people of the Bible. The people are melanated. And then as I begin to think about Egypt and how the Egyptians are portrayed, I'm starting to kind of see how it wouldn't be the first time that they've kind of changed people's race to another race. So I wanted to hear you out because I'm trying to find the right quote unquote Black indigenous to kind of point me in the right way to like where you guys are. Like, are you getting this information through word of mouth, or is there like, can you help me?
Yeah, I mean, like again, it's like this. I A couple months ago, I was not like I want to say half a year ago, I was in your same position. I was in the same position as Arab. Like I was saying the same thing. I was like, "We African, y'all are crazy. Y'all pretendians." No, everybody's just acting like people are just out of their like butts are just coming out of nowhere and being like, "Yeah, we indigenous." But the more you start learning, the more you realize like wait a minute, something is off about this. But yeah, like I had to stop talking about other people that claimed they was indigenous because first of all, it took a black American to ask me, did I go do my genealogy? And then that's when I was like, no, I don't need to do a genealogy. They was like, why do you don't even know your own grandmama?
And
You over here talking about DNA, but you don't even know your grandmama or your
and
great grandmama.
that's
And then
why.
that's when I was like, you know what? I'm sick of like, cause I like to debate. That's how I like to do. I love to debate. But when somebody catch me on a weak spot, I'd be like, well, fine. First of all, let me go and put y'all in check. I'm gonna go do my genealogy and I'll be back. So, but when I got on here, I was all about like Africanism and how like black people were African descent. Like I understood that. I understood that both things could be true at the same time. But at that time, I didn't believe that I was one of that until I went and did my homework and I was like, well, damn. Like I went all the way back to the 1790s and I found all on both sides on the Indian rolls. Like, what else is there supposed to be? Like, they proved me wrong. I was like, damn, there are people, Black Americans out here that have been reclassified. That
And
doesn't mean that everybody, is Indian. I'm just saying, go do your homework before you start talking smack about
and
somebody.
that's why
You
I'm like,
know?
I was raised to be, African American, but I when this whole FBA stuff, I was like, these people are crazy. But I called my grandmother, and she was like, "We're not African," and I'm like, "Grandma, what are you talking about?" She's like, "We're not African." She's like, "We are Indian." She's like, "I don't know." She's like, she's like, "My mother is a full-blooded Indian," and I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like, y'all. I'm like, I know people like to put this delusion on our grandmothers, but I'm like, okay, she's not just getting this from nowhere. And when I was listening to other Africans, they get their genealogy and their information by word of mouth from their elders.
That's
So
why I'm saying it's like
why
slick
is it
disrespectful. Like, we
why is it valid for them to use their grandmothers as a way to tell them who they are, but not who we are? So I just found that really strange, and now I'm like, okay, like I listened to her, and then I talked to my great grandmother's sister. So my great grandmother is dead, but my great grandmother's sister is still alive, and she said that we were also Indian. So I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, so the grandmother that I talked to, that was my dad's mom, but this great grandmother's on my mother's side. So these are from both sides of my family saying the same thing. And my great grandmother's sister, she's from Mississippi. They're from Mississippi. So I'm just like, okay, so they're both my mom's side and my dad's side are saying this, and I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of I don't know. I'm just looking for people to kind of point me in the right direction.
I hear you. I hear you. So this is
yeah.
what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do because I do want everybody to find their soul tribe. Even if my soul tribe ain't your soul tribe, I think our commonality here, guys, to be honest, is the FBAs. Okay, the FBAs are calling y'all pretendians. Okay. And they're talking shit to the Africans too. Okay, the middle ground is the FBA. So if we can be all on that same point, but we do have to hash this out because I don't want any awkwardness on this panel. I do want to, based off this, I do want to give everybody a chance to speak. We're going to do this. We're just going to give everybody 3 minutes to explain themselves, talk about what you heard just now, or speak on the panel. You have 2 options, right? And then we're just gonna do that because I don't think we can do this as everybody can talk over everybody because I'm gonna drop the live again, okay? Because I don't want that. I don't want this on here, and I think we can find a middle ground. But if you guys want to argue, you guys can see each other. You guys can hit each other up on the DMs. You guys can go handle that somewhere else. Not on my panel, please. That's all I asked for. So I'm gonna start with Jay, and then I'm gonna go to Nagwal, and then I'll go to Smart. and then we'll circle back around to Back and Divine. Okay, Divine, if you can be patient for me, please. But again, the prompt is the prompt. But you guys can speak about the response to everything that's happened so far, or what these two were talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna give a chance to Jay first. Jay, you got 3 minutes.
So I just have a question for the panel. Can we all agree that of the people that are classified by the U.S. government as so-called black in the United States, there are those who have ancestors that were from Africa, there are those that had ancestors that were here before European arrival, and there are those that have both. Can we all agree on that?
Hold on, Jay. Before you do an open-ended question,
Well, I just want to know. It's a yes or no question. That's all I want to know.
Okay. So yes and no from the top to the bottom. Okay, Nicole,
That's
you
all.
go first. You go first, Nicole. I want a yes and no only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Smart, go ahead. You can elaborate on your yes or no, by the way. Smart, you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
man. No, that's been my position from the whole time, from the beginning. I mean, I think it's proper to support people if they're not hurting anybody. It's proper to support them in their claims. You know what I'm saying? I just want to help. I want to support everybody. Whatever they want is what I want.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Smart, you still there, sister? If not, we'll circle back around. All right, Big Back, yes or no? You can elaborate.
What was the question?
Go ahead, Jay.
You said if black people.
Yeah, I'll say it again. So I was saying, can we all agree that of the people classified by the U.S. government as black, quote unquote, there are those that have ancestors that came from Africa. There are those that have ancestors that were here before the Europeans came to this land, and there are those that have both. Can we all agree on that? Yes or no? That's the question.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, y'all know that. I've been saying that the whole time. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I don't understand what the debate is. If we all agree on that, like, what's the?
I think the debate
Hold on.
is-
No, Divine.
Okay.
Divine, that's not a question to you. That's not a question to you, Divine. Let me
Kinda
go.
was,
Let me
but
go. Well, stop it, Jay.
I mean, I
I
was just
gotta
gonna
answer.
say a
No,
quick
I gotta
statement.
answer. You guys didn't let me answer. Let me.
Oh
answer.
yeah. Go ahead.
So again, I would say yes too, but on top of the yes, I would say, okay, there's one side of us that are saying that Africans are not indigenous to America, right? Africans are saying that. Now, the black indigenous people in America are saying the same thing. They're saying the Africans are not indigenous. We're indigenous. So you guys are both saying the same thing. Like, I don't understand how you guys, you know what the issue is? You both see each other like sisters, or we see each other like brothers, because we're like, you don't understand that you're a part of our family. And the same goes the other way. Like, you don't understand that you're with us. So we're like battling amongst family, because now we're like kind of like the Arab thing, right? Divine, yesterday. Like, he's got half of him pulling him one side, he's got the other half pulling him the other side. And I think we have to be very empathetic in that. And like you said, Divine, like I've heard other people say, like, this is what I thought before, you know? And there were some other things that pulled me in the right direction where I got to learn a little bit more about myself. But that's why I always say, we're not here to convince people that they are something that they aren't. You can agree with other people and say that you're not African. You can agree with them. They want you as a sister so bad, Divine, that they're gonna try to keep you close to them because you're a smart sister, and they value you just like you value another sister that you see as an African, and you value her as being African. There's nothing really to take away from that. So this is when we bump heads, it's always like we're calling each other the most craziest shit, trying to convince each other to be one or the other. But I think you guys are saying the same thing, but we have to respect each other's stances, you know, on top of that. So
Hey, Vibes. I was gonna say, I think though a lot of it stems from like the way we talk, because like I said, how I framed it, I said, well, okay, the U.S. government classifies people according to a color, right? We don't really have a choice. We didn't historically have a choice over that, so you were placed in this box called black or Negro. We can all agree on that. That's just a fact, right? Now, that's different from who are your ancestors. And I think like Divine was saying, if she did her genealogy and she can't see any ancestors that came from Africa, That's all she's saying. But see, the thing is that people want to say, I think when you start saying, oh, well, you're African, you're this, that's where it becomes an issue, because there's no the U.S. government does not classify anybody as African necessarily. That's not a race in America. The race is black, or historically Negro. It wasn't African. So there's the racial category in the United States, and then there's this whole concept of being African, and that's a solely separate topic. So you can't tell somebody what they are if it's not even in their genealogy. Oh, well, you just, because that's what that guy, that Money, whatever his name was trying to do the other day.
Money Ali.
Yeah, when he was trying to say, oh, well, you're African, he said, oh, because you could just tell by the way you look. No, you can't do that. Either you did your genealogy like Divine did, and you see your ancestors, or you don't. That's it, right? That doesn't therefore mean that. So I think that's the problem. If we keep it very simple and within the framing of, since we are in the United States and how it's the box people are put in, it becomes just of an issue. But when you start creating these identities like African and stuff that doesn't even exist here, then it becomes this debate, because that's not even a category in America. So what are we even talking about when you say somebody is African? You feel me?
Right, and even African people don't consider themselves Africans. Like, we have our own, like, again, just like the group word black in America,
and
right?
not all immigrants that come from Africa are put in the category of black by the U.S. government. Some are put in the category of white, right? Like
Directive 15.
Exactly. So there, like, again, there's no African racial box in America. It doesn't exist. It never existed. So I don't even know why we're even talking about that.
African American is a box, right? So this is why they always
African American. It's African American / black. So it's African American or black, but that's not the same thing as African. That's a totally different thing.
No. Hold on, Divine. Hold on. So I'm just saying there is a either or, right? Just like there's a other box too, right? I'm saying that the structures that are available for us, we self-identify at the end of the day. No one's making us check these boxes. So
well, we do now, but historically, like if you look at birth certificates, like my parents' birth certificates, on both of them, they used to put race and it said Negro.
Yeah.
Now, I think after the 1970s or 80s, they stopped doing that, because my birth certificate does not say a race. But historically, again, the government assigned you a race. The doctor put that. They didn't ask you. They said,
you wonder why they stopped putting race on it. You know. Hold on, DJ. I got a whole like lineup right here. I'm sorry, DJ. I'll get right to you. I do want to move on. Thank you, Jay, for bringing up those points. Those are important points to highlight, you know, when we're talking about this, to just kind of slow down, because like we've been hoodwinked, okay, on both sides, and we have to recognize that, okay. Nigual, I promised you, Nigual, you were next. You got the floor with 3 minutes, and then you can again say your spiel about everything. You can leave a question at the end, and when it's their turn, ask a specific. You can ask a question generally to everyone with a yes and no if you want to do that, like Jay just did, and I can do that for you, but. Leave it at the end, you know? I think that would be the best way to do this, guys, and say what you have to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm just, you know, as far as like literature and historical accounts are concerned, I can substantiate the so-called black folks are indigenous. But, you know, to say that people are solely one thing for yourself, that you can't, like Jay was saying, you can't project your interpretation upon somebody else. I mean, that's the whole problem that we've had from the get-go, and everyone that's remotely interested understands that there is an agenda going on that has been since the beginning of this country to classify people according to YT's interpretations. So what we're left with is that agenda. I mean, I give credit to anybody and their positions as far as their own personal classifications, but assigning somebody else, that's just a no-no in my opinion. There's just too much blockage in the way for us to, like, if we were to try to claim that somebody is quote African, it's like no one can go back in time and show that for sure. I mean, all of those stops have been put in place for a reason. So again, trying to assign somebody a position is just no one would like it done to them, and so I wouldn't do it for anybody else. My whole thing is I understand that so-called black folks is like they have their interpretations. I'm like, okay, so the truth of the matter is, why do we go back to this point of origin? And the reason is because of the quote sciences that have been given to us But if we are truly honest with ourselves, if we believe in those type of emergences of categories, then we all transpose back beyond our assumed pinpoint point of origins. So this is the problem with assigning identity, which is why my cultural position doesn't allow me to invest my identity in any ethnicity. It just removes the ethnic categories that we tend, once we give ourselves these categories, then we align ourselves with a position, and then we become biased towards other positions. So I just try to steer away from that practice. So as far as questions, I've got no questions for anybody.
All right, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and let's see where we are on this this thing here. Okay, sisters, I want to give Sister Smart one more chance. If you're still up here, Sister Smart, gonna give you 3 minutes if you want to speak on everything. If not, we'll go on to Big Back. Big Back, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of reiterate what Jay was saying. It wasn't until I started asking my mom for my grandparents' birth certificate and death certificate to see what was on there, and both of my grandparents were colored, so that to me was I've been talking to my mom about her mom. She was explaining to me that colored, like, I didn't know this, but African American wasn't given to us into the late 19th century. And before that, it was just black. And before that, it was colored. So that to me kind of really changed a lot how I see my history. And it really kind of has kind of like, it just, I'm in a state of where I'm just kind of just, I'm just open to asking questions, because now I'm starting to see, okay, there are certain things that maybe I need to look more into, and that just, it didn't, this, in me questioning it, didn't just come from not seeing how we were classified, but also the miseducation about Africans. When I was I remember very clearly when I was in the school system. I live in California. We were taught that Africans had no written language, and we were taught that Africans and Native Americans had no written language. Come to find out, as an adult, talking to and having so many African friends from across the continent, Africans have had written language for thousands of years. So when I look at the education that I'm receiving, I'm starting to see that because the education system is controlled by, white people, I'm starting now to kind of deconstruct. I'm starting to be more critical and be open to more, just being open. So I'm just hoping that I can find the right, anybody who knows me knows that I am not FBA. I don't rock with them. I don't rock with any of that xenophobic or anti-Black rhetoric. But I am trying to find people who can just help me, point me in the right direction, because I have seen some people bring receipts, but yeah, that's kind of where I am. And my question to Divine, I know that you said your family's from Mississippi. My grandmother's side is from Mississippi. Do you know where they are from Mississippi?
Oh, can I talk? I don't know. I gotta ask Vibes. Can I respond?
No, you can't, Divine. I'm just joking. Of course, you can respond. He can have a last question for you. Go ahead. You can respond.
Yeah, what was
Hey,
it? What was the
I do
question?
want to tell the brother waiting, because I want Sam up here. Sam, let me figure out who wants to drop Sam. Okay, just be patient with us, please. Go ahead, Divine. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't think Smart has responded,
I
because
don't
I know
think
she's on here.
maybe. I know, but maybe she doesn't want to respond. Smart, do you mind if I drop you just to get someone else in here? If you don't want to respond, you can listen in on the other end.
You
Smart.
can drop me. You can drop me. I'll come back
No,
later.
so relax, slow. You're good. You're good. I just want to make sure. So I don't think Smart's there, so I'm gonna let her just listen on the end. But Smart, you can always come back up, okay, sister? I do. Oh, she didn't drop herself, or who dropped her? Who dropped her? Who dropped her, guys? I need to know. My mods, who dropped her?
I don't think she's there.
Okay, JJ, thank you. I just wanted to know because I don't want her to feel like I dropped her. I wanted to make sure with
No,
her first.
you can
Okay,
blame it
now
on
we're
me.
good. Now we're good. Divine, go ahead and answer that question for Mr. Big Bag, and then we're gonna circle back around to the new guest.
Okay, so like, what did you mean by your family's from Mississippi and you want to know exactly where? Like, were you part of North, Middle, or Southern Mississippi? Like your
No, I was
ancestors?
just saying that, I've always identified. I never really taken the time to study my genealogy or do any of my research either. But as I was talking to you before, just by word of mouth, my family has been in here for centuries. And I was on my grandmother's side. They're from Mississippi. They're from Mississippi Jackson. So I was just, curious to know, where your family was from.
Yeah, so they all started off in Holmes, Mississippi, and that's near like the mid yeah, it's like close to Jackson, like an hour or two away from Jackson. But they started off in Yazoo, Mississippi. So when I went and did my genealogy, that's what I found. Like I found every ancestor on both sides of my family all in Mississippi. And when I clicked on their grandparents' names, it said the same thing. It had their names and it said where they were born. And then I would click their parents' name and then it will say the same thing. It will say their parents were born in Mississippi. And I just kept clicking and clicking and clicking until I couldn't click anymore. And that's when I got down to the 1790s by a man named Ane. And what happened was like like with all the ancestors actually, but specifically for him, first it started off in when he was a boy, when he was just a little kid, he was mulatto. They wrote down mulatto, right? And then 10 years later, he was mulatto again. Then 10 years later, he was black. Then 10 years later, he was back to mulatto. Then 10 years later, he was Negroid. Then 10 years later. So you see how that happened, right? But remember, this is the first ancestry out of all the ancestors that I found. So I could not find his parents. I was like, what is going on? Like, it just stops at him. It stops at the word mulatto. And I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. So something in me just told me to just keep flipping the pages. And that's what I just kept doing. I stayed up all night. I went through 600 pages and I just kept flipping and flipping and flipping. I took breaks, I went back and then boom, that's what I found. I found the Indian Rose. I saw that name. He was on the federal rolls when he was 10 years old, he was on the federal rolls as a mulatto. But when I looked in the Indian rolls, he was on the rolls as a full-blooded Indian. No, not a freeman, a full-blooded Indian. And the rest of his family was all on there and they were all considered full blood.
Wow, thank you.
No, my bad. I muted you. I meant to put a timer on you, Divine. Don't be mad at me. My bad. Go ahead. You can land your plane, Divine.
Okay, yeah, so that's what ended up happening. And I did that with every single, like my mom's side of the family, her mother and her father. My dad's side of the family, his mother and his father. And then the same thing happened. I stopped at, I think I found all 32 great grandparents. I found all 16. So out of the 16, I found all 16 great grandparents. I believe it's great grandparents. Yeah, and then I found all 8 grandparents. Out of the 8 grandparents, one of them I halfway found. I was able to only find him, but he was in Carolina, and it stopped with him being adopted by a Native American tribe, and he was considered a freeman. But again, out of 8 grandparents that were all on the Indian rolls, he was the only one that was like adopted. So I was like, okay, like I'm ending in the same place. I'm stopping at the same place. So I'm not, what I'm saying is not crazy. I'm like, it's not like I'm sitting here like, yeah, I want to be Indian. No, it's like, dang, I know all our parents not lying to us.
Right.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you, Big Bag, for that question. Hopefully you get a little more answers to what you're looking for, my brother.
I might DM you, Divine, for some other questions I have, if you don't mind.
I mean, that's up to what's name Vibes. But I know we got other people on the panel, so I'm gonna let them go.
Yeah, no
So
doubt, no
we
doubt,
can
no doubt.
circle back.
Connect. Divine has a website where she reconnects Africans to indigenous cultures in America. I'm just joking. I'm joking. No, go ask her. Go ask her, bro. I'm sorry, dude. You know. All right, let's go ahead and introduce Soul. And I know last time, there's a little contention here, right? I like to hear from my African brothers and sisters that have a different interpretation. We're not all gonna agree about the black population in America, whether it's more African, whether it's more indigenous to America. This is a big contention right now. And when we make these claims that there are no slave ships, like the sister was saying before, or there's no, like, the population is less than 1% of Africans in America. These are big claims, and we like to see proof of it, and both ways. I think we have a long way to go about showing this proof and demonstrating it with literature or with DNA or with your genealogy, right? And this is what the FBAs are fighting about right now, right? Their lineage and how they're separating from the Africans that they claim that they are, but they also want to claim the Black, Indigenous, Native thing. So, and call you pretendians at the same time. So again, we're here as Black, Indigenous, and Africans. I feel like we could be allies to the FBAs. The FBAs is my problem. That's my number one enemy. Not to negate, not because I'm not here to invalidate anybody's experience. If you want to me, that's up to you. But that's not my job. And I'm not
Vibes, could I ask you, do you
that you're
identify
like
as
me or you're like. I'm to the FBAs. I'm a tether. I'm a first generation African Mexican,
okay.
Afro-Mexican, so Eritrean. You see the
Where in
flag?
Africa
That's
are
my
you from?
father's side.
Oh my
So I'm
God,
not
mine
from Africa,
too. My dad
sister.
is my dad is Eritrean
Yeah,
too.
yeah. There you go. And I know you're
Are you
Australian,
Habesha?
sister.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you
my aunt says, don't say Habesha. Don't say Habesha. She's really adamant about me not calling myself Habesha, because you know how Eritreans are so proud of their identity.
Yeah.
They don't want to even be confused with with Ethiopians. So
Yeah.
there's a long story behind that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, guys. But go ahead, Soul Snatcher. I'm done talking. I'll introduce yourself to the panel, and then I want to hear your response to what you've heard or something on the panel. Go ahead, sister.
I'm still researching about what's happening in the discussion, like aside from the panel. But I can talk about the panel for now, and I'll chime in later when I finish my research. Yeah, so the African Muslims, Arabism in Africa. Oh, sorry, let me introduce myself first.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So I'm 23. I'm from Australia, and I'm Habesha. My mom is Ethiopian, my dad is Eritrean. But so you put the Eritrean flag there, so I'm guessing that the topic today is Eritreans in the Arab culture. So
Well, I wanted to let people know. I want to let people know where, like, kind of like my African side, just right off the bat, that, just to. But it could be about anything in Africa. So.
Okay. Well, I'll make it by Eritrea then, because. So Eritrea does have a lot of Arab influence, because we have a specific tribe. I think they're called the Beja peoples. They are mostly from Sudan, and as you know, Sudan was heavily influenced by the Arabs. So that is one tribe already that basically has Arab culture. They speak Arabic as well. They're predominantly Muslim. Even the Rashidas actually, they are the only Eritrean group with strong Arab culture, because they arrived from the Arabian Peninsula during the 1800s, and they identify as Arab. So if you ask them, they will tell you that Arab and not Muslim. And if you see them, how they look white, blue eyes, soft hair. They have the Arab culture. So there's other tribes as well, like the Tigre. They have an African foundation, but some of them, they have strong Arab influence because of their contact with the Yemen and the Hijaz peoples when they were doing trading. So I guess that brings my point to there is a lot of Arabism in Africa due to us, specifically in the Horn, due to us being really close to Yemen and all of that. It's just across the Red Sea. So when you're talking about Arabism in Africa, I would say that there is a lot in the east side, but African Muslims is completely different. The Prophet Muhammad came to modern day Tigray, right? And he came for protection because the people in Mecca and Medina were trying to unalive him for spreading the Islam and the Quran. So he went to Tigray. They told him there's a noble and nice king in Abyssinia, in the city of Aksum. You can go there and seek refuge and they will look after you. He came with his Sahaba and they spread Islam peacefully. They spread it very peacefully. They taught them the Quran. Even when the king of Aksum had passed away, the Prophet had led prayer for the king of Aksum in a nice way, and the rest of the Abyssinians had followed him willingly. Some of them stayed in Christianity. Some of them had gotten close to the Sahaba and learned Islam, and they had become Muslim. And that had gone for Eritrea too. Same thing happened in Eritrea. Same thing happened in Somalia. It wasn't forced upon any African. The terrorist Muslims today are a completely different story. I don't really consider the terrorist to be a Muslim anyways, because in Islam, to be a Muslim means to go by the Quran and to pray properly.
Quick
So
question. Are you Muslim or
yeah,
Christian?
I'm Muslim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So African Muslims, I don't mind. I like them. They're good. Arabism in Africa, get it out. I don't like it. Arabism in Africa, get it out. Take
So
away
do
the
you
Arab culture.
do you
Sorry.
speak Arabic?
I can understand a bit of Arabic. My sisters and my mother speak Arabic.
So you see, that's where I have a problem with Islam, is that most of it, for you to fully understand it, you have to be able to speak Arabic. Okay,
Yeah, but
otherwise you have to depend on somebody translating it for you. That's why they make
no,
you
no, no.
guys recite the
So
chapters. You see what I'm
the
saying?
reason
So it's
the
not really
reason it's in
studied.
Arabic actually, Samora. The reason it's in Arabic actually has nothing to do with Islam. The Prophet Muhammad himself was a illiterate man, right? When the angel Jibril came, he told him to read. He came with a script into the cave. He told him to read. The Prophet had told the angel Jibril, I'm illiterate. I can't read and I can't write. So the angel had told the Prophet Muhammad, then recite. So he had recited. Then the Prophet went to his wife's cousin, and he had told her, I just had an encounter with the angel. It was a scary encounter, and they told me to recite. He wasn't aware if he was hallucinating or if he was just seeing things. So he went to the cousin and he told her, listen, this is what I seen, this is what I heard. The angel told me to recite. What's going on? His cousin, his wife's cousin, had told him, this is an angel that had visited Musa, which is Christianity, Moses, a couple hundred years ago, and had said the same thing, right? So the reason it's in Arabic is
So
because he had recited it and he had translated it to Arabic, right? His cousin had wrote it down as Arabic. So you actually, just depends on who you are. You don't have to read in Arabic. The Quran is in every single language. The
Yeah,
Quran is in
subhanallah.
English,
Subhanallah.
Malaysian, it's in Thai, it's in Chinese,
Yeah,
it's in
I was
every
gonna
language. But
let
the
me.
thing is, what's
Go
gonna
ahead.
happen is
so
in Arabic, one
No,
word
no,
has
Sam,
several
let her
different
land. Let
meanings.
her land. You're next, Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I got
you're
you.
next.
So one word in Arabic has several different meanings, okay? So it just matters on context. If you want to translate, you have to translate with context, right? That's the thing that the English transliteration of the Quran is missing a lot. So that's the reason why some people take some verses of the Quran and say, well, the Prophet Muhammad said that it's okay to kill. The Prophet Muhammad never said it's okay to kill. The Prophet Muhammad actually had said, don't start war, and if you can, try to avoid it. But if anything was to happen, you need to defend yourself, right? But the transliteration from Arabic to English had said, Prophet Muhammad actually said it's okay to have war, but that's not what he said. He had said, defend yourself. But if you can avoid war, avoid it at all costs, right? Because taking one life is like taking all of humanity's life. So Islam is completely against what the Europeans and what the Islamophobes are saying, right? So context matters, okay? So when you're translating from English to Arabic to a different language, context matters. But in English, it means a lot of different things. So it's not that you have to get somebody to translate for you, Sam. You know, you can get a Quran in your own language. But if you're going to get it in English language, you have to make sure that you're doing a lot of research, because context matters a lot in this case. And a lot of people understand that, but just choose to be ignorant and go by what the Islamophobes are saying. And they don't want to do their own research, and they don't want to break it down, right? Because in the Quran, there's a lot of stories, like like Surat Al-Baqarah. You won't understand Surat Al-Baqarah if you don't know the backstory, right? Of the cow. Going back to the time
Actually
of
helping prove my point.
how so?
So
Hold on, no.
you just said,
Sam, let Soul finish, man. I'm gonna get to you.
oh, I thought she was done. My bad. She
No,
just said
she,
house so I figured
no,
she was
well,
done.
because
All right,
you
not anymore.
interject,
Like she's getting long with it though.
you
man.
interjected,
You know.
you interjected again.
Okay,
So
my bad.
I got you, Sam. I got you. Go ahead, Soul.
Yeah.
Stand your point.
So like I said, so you need context when you're reading the Quran, okay? Because the Quran is a book of history. It's a way of life. It's Allah's way of telling us what's prohibited and what's not prohibited, okay? So when you're researching about the Quran, if you're reading it specifically, I can tell you about the Arabic to English transliteration of the Quran. You're gonna need to do a lot of research about it. So Surah Al-Baqarah, you're gonna need to go through the hadiths to find out what Allah is talking about, you know, because it's one thing to read the Quran, it's another thing to understand it. Yeah, so that's what I have to say
Okay,
about
thank you for that,
Muslims.
Soul. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I do, before I let you on, Samo, welcome back. Appreciate you. But I do want to say, to tell people that the language that we're speaking right now is English. Am I responsible for the Crusades, the Inquisition? Am I an Englishman because I speak English? No, you know. And so to take on the whole language and the context behind the language, right? Like, how did we come here? You know, how did we come now to understand each other right now? And with this English language, we need context too. We can't just jump into a conversation taking things out of context, because we love to do that as English speaking people. we love to take what someone says and turn it backwards, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
The Germanic language is a backward language. It's a bastardized language. It's a forked tongue language. It's a colonized language. So oh my God, don't tell me. Oh my God. Anyways, I do want to preface that before I let you talk. Sam, love you, bro. Welcome to the panel. Can you introduce yourself and then go ahead, brother? The floor is yours. You got all the time you need. If you have a question for someone, brother, leave it at the end so they can answer it when it's their turn. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so my name is Sumara, and I'm from Kenya. I'm in Nairobi, and I'm speaking and responding as an African that does not believe in any of the Abrahamic religions, in the sense that neither one of them, either Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, has done anything to improve our conditions in Africa. As much as over the years, you can see that. There's been more churches and more mosques in sub-Saharan Africa than there has been any factory or you know, any institution of employment and economic development, which shows that Africans have actually shown faith in both these religions for over, I don't know how many hundreds of years. And we have received no blessings out of it. But the people that introduced us to these religions if you look at their countries, they're thriving off of our resources. They will offer to build you more mosques in Africa than they will offer to build you hospitals and schools and universities and factories. One example was the one in just recently when in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore was offered to, who was it? The king of Saudi Arabia offered to build, I don't know, 100 mosques for Ibrahim Traore. And his response was amazing. He said, listen, I'm Muslim like you. But right now, to be honest, and I appreciate the gesture, but if you look at our country right now, we need hospitals. We need factories. We don't need mosques. We can talk to God anywhere. I can go to my kitchen, put on a mat, clean myself, and God will hear me. I don't need a fancy building. So, to me, both these religions are instruments of control to us. They don't make sense. Two, you've introduced two problems with your explanation. One, you just proved to me that, okay, to understand Islam fully, you have to speak Arabic. 80% of Muslims do not speak Arabic.
That's
If
not
it
what
is
I said.
translated in other languages, no, let me finish. If it's translated in other languages, that's what you say. Then there's a lot of miscontext involved. So therefore, you cannot take it accurately as the word of God because it's been tampered with. That is the same story with Christianity. Christianity was not written in English. It's been gone through, things been taken in, added and put in there and translated from Greek, Hebrew, and then to English and to different kinds of English. Because the English they spoke back in the 12th century is barely the same as we speak today. A lot has changed from that. So none of these religions to us as Africans are reliable. We cannot speak of them as the absolute word of God. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as you said, where did he get all this information to certify this religion as the absolute word of God? From visions and dreams. Okay? With nobody there but him and an apparent angel that gave him. Who else was there to witness this? Some of that I've done, like I said yesterday, my boy. I've done some psychedelics and I've gone into different dimensions and I've seen things that look realer than the reality I'm experiencing right now. But I have the sense to know that, hey, that was a different place. That was all in my mind. I didn't write a book about it and tell you that, oh, in my visions, I saw something that was a God and told me to come tell you that these are the rules and this is the way to go about things. So the source of your religion, and the reason I'm against it is it's affecting even our governance structures now in Africa, because now even our African Union, it's being controlled by either you're Muslim or you're not. So if you have great ideas for Africa, but you're not a Muslim, the Muslim nations will band together and vote for their Muslim counterpart. That's the recent thing we saw with the AAU recently. Raila Odinga was the best candidate, and everybody agreed, and the ideas he had for Africa. But the Muslim nations would not vote for him because he was not Muslim. The same thing going on in Tanzania right now. There's so much corruption in our government. The whole country is against it. The international community has condemned it. But the AU, because he's a Muslim leader, they want Muslim influence in Tanzania. They would rather have this corrupt leader there just because of his religion and not his performance. So we as Africans need to go back to our old traditional spirituality before Islam, Christianity, or Judaism was introduced to us. Just like I was saying yesterday, my boy,
Orthodox
to me,
Christianity were
Negro Indians are
introduced in
like a tree.
Ethiopia.
So let me just
So
finish. Give me 1 minute and then I'll land. I'm not going to be long winded. So to me, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all have the same source, the same foundation, the same root. They all come from the same tree. They just branched off at some point. They disagreed on something and they veered off to different branches. Okay. Now, we all know if the root of a tree is corrupted or the foundation of a house is corrupted and not well structured, we know that the building or the tree itself is now corrupted and cannot be trusted to be dwelt in. That is my outlook on all these three religions. If you look at their origin, they don't make sense. They're plagiarism of other religions, especially if you look at Moses and the Ten Commandments. They took that from the Egyptians, uh, 42 laws of my heart. That's where he got that from. Where was Moses raised and educated? Egypt. It comes out with a revised version of the 42 laws of my heart. That's what the Ten Commandments is. If you look at the story of Jesus, it has a very similar resemblance to the story of Horus. If you look at a lot of the Bible stories, they all have origins from other religions. So these cannot be looked at as absolute words of God, whoever you believe God is. It's an instrument of control, especially on us Africans, our land.
Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you for that insight. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and go introduce the newcomer up here. And okay, you guys all get whatever time you want because I had to give respect to everybody coming on. But then we're gonna have to limit these times just so we can get everybody involved and interactive in this. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and introduce Ishmael. Ishmael, are you there? Assalamu
Yeah.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Hi guys.
Can you introduce yourself, my brother, and then go ahead and chime in.
So I'm Ismail and I'm Muslim. So I came here because I saw Arabism and African Muslim and Arabism, and you know something that most people don't understand about Islam in Africa is that the Sahel, the Sahara, the Horn of Africa accepted Islam in a peaceful way. In fact, Eritrea and some part of Ethiopia and Somalia received Islam before most of the Arabia, even in Mecca, Medina, they did not receive Islam. So the Arabs were persecuting the Muslims. When they ran away, they went and took refuge in the Abyssinia, current the mostly part of Eritrea, I think so. So, and I see so many people are upset why the Muslims are speaking Arabic or why the Muslims are writing Arabic. The reason why Muslims need to preserve Arabic language that was given, the message that was given to the Prophet, is that we want to make sure that we preserve the message, everything that's there. Otherwise, if we don't preserve it, therefore, everybody can translate it the way they want. Imagine you leave it to the Arabs we see today, like the UAE. They will come and preach anything and tell you that this is facts because you don't speak the language. But in reality, Muslims all over the world, the Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Messina, the Darfur Sultanate, the Adwal Sultanate, you know, the Abyssinian, you know, the Kanem Borno, all empires in Africa that were Muslims preserve the language. They know the translation. No Arab will come and tell them that this is different meaning because they learn it, and then they have scholars of their land. They produce things. They had universities. They have scholarships that is defined to their own people, and they translated these things in their own language so that they can teach their people who doesn't know Arabic. So the people did not rely on the Arabs. The Arabs themselves were the enemy of Islam. The Arabs themselves did not like Islam. They wanted to push the Muslims out of Arabia. But then when they lose, there are many of them who converted just because, you know, they lose in the hands of Muslims, and some of them converted because they accepted the message of Islam. So when we preserve Arabic language, we are preserving because that message came in Arabic language, and we want to make sure that we have the original meaning. And the reason why Muslims pray in Arabic is that there are other reasons, such as, you know, distorting the meaning of the things. For example, I speak many languages, you know, and certain things, I will give you an example. Saying you know, I'm 25 years old. In English, you say I am 25 years old, but in French, you say I have 25 years old. So there are contexts that you can change, that will change if you translate it to a different language. That's the reason why Muslims preserve the Arabic language. So we are not preserving because of the Arabs. The Arabic language that is written in the Quran, nobody speaks it today. If you go to any Arab country, nobody speaks the language. It is a language of 1,400 years ago. So that's the reason why we're saying that. Also, I see some people saying that, oh, you know, the Arabs today, they are wealthy and blah, blah, blah. The Arabs for the past 1,340 years, they were nothing. Go to the Arabia. Somalia was and the Abyssinian were giving help to the Arabs for how many years? It is recently that they discover oil, that they became rich. I can show you the pictures of their leaders when they were absolutely nothing. They were walking barefooted. When in Africa people were building universities, you know, they were building libraries. They have scientific discoveries from Egypt to Morocco, from Somalia to Mauritania. Everybody was building. You know, when Mansa Musa went to the Arabia, he changed their entire life just by going to Hajj. So the Arab did not benefit anything when it comes to Islam, you know, in Africa. I know the Omani Empire did some horrible things in the Swahili coast, but the Omani Empire with the Khawarij, they were considered by most Muslims by being the deviant. They were not the people that we call Muslims. They had their own system, and you know, they came and they did something. We know some people did something like slavery and all this kind of stuff. So slavery did not start with Islam. Bilal ibn Rabah, who is the companion of the Prophet, he was enslaved before the message of Islam arrived. slavery. Malik Ambar, that was a ruler in India, and many other people that are found today in Iran, in Pakistan. You can find even in China. They were black slaves that were sold by the Abyssinian to the Arabs. The Arabs were absolutely nothing. So don't think that the Arab came and took something. The Arabs were enslaving the white people. They were enslaving the Persian. They were enslaving their own Arabs during the time of Islam. Every time they go to fighting with another group of people, the people that they will dominate them and they will win the fight, they will become the slaves of the Muslims. So that's not only unique to the African continent. Some people will go and point out, for example, the Eunuch, where that's the horrible thing they're doing, and it started also in Abyssinia, that they will remove the male part and the person become nothing. That happened to the white people. You can go and see the European today complaining that what the Ottoman was doing to them. So even in Africa, the people in Africa, you can find in the Sahara, and North Africa, people were literally enslaving people from the Germany, like the English, the German. They were being sold to the Andalusian, and the Andalusian were being sold to the African continent. There are people who can trace their ancestors from the slave that came from Europe. So, guys, I'm not feeling well. I don't want to talk too much. So that's the
Thank you,
reason why
brother.
I came here.
I'm gonna let Jay run the. Oh, sorry. Jay, Mr. Jay, are you there?
I said I got you.
All right, I got to step out just a little bit. Thank you. Can you run it from here? Oh, same deal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's your world, okay? It's your world, Jay. You can do whatever.
Claro.
All right.
So did anyone want to respond to what Ishmael said?
Ismail, sorry, there was something that you said that some people might not understand properly when you mentioned that there was slaves before Islam. Can you unmute? Okay, he can't hear me. Okay, so can you just because I think that went over some people's head. Can you just explain again that how slavery actually happened? Because I know it's a misconception. A lot of people think that Islam likes slavery and that it allowed it. But can you also just explain that and also explain how Islam condemns slavery and what the Quran says about slavery and the Prophet Muhammad too?
So basically, in Islam, it is completely forbidden in Islam to go and arrest a free person who did not attack you, who did not do anything, and enslave the person. That's the message of Islam. However, people who had slaves already that were inside their house, they are being encouraged. Someone who freed their slave, get a huge reward, and also, how do you say it in English again? Just a second, I'll try to translate in my mind. And also, the people, the day slaves will have to get what you. If you say, oh, that slave is helping me, he's working with me, I don't have anyone else, maybe I don't have a child or something like that. Therefore, you have to feed the slave what you eat. If you're eating chicken, he eats chicken. If you're wearing silk, you need to wear silk. Where you sleep is the place he has to sleep. So he should be free like you are, but he is just under you as you being his guardian. That's exactly how he is. However, in Islam, if you go to war with another empire or whatever, and then you win the war, the people who were fighting, only the people who were in the battlefield are being enslaved, and that is what we call today war prisoners, because they did not have prisons back then. They will give to certain families, so certain noble families, and they will take care of them, and that this is how slavery works. However, I'm not gonna lie to you. There are many people who did slavery, being Muslims. They went there and they captured free people and they did it.
Nothing to do with Islam, though.
It has nothing to do with the teaching of Islam. People can come and say, oh, this and they did that, but it has nothing to do with Islam. And I can tell you, even me, from my own family, from my own people, I know the history of people who did that. And my late grandpa, Allah yarhamu, he is telling me about the horrible things as him being a Muslim, telling me the people did this and they did that. It is absolutely wrong. It has nothing to do with Islam. There are people who didn't do it and they stick on that.
Mm-hmm. And the prophet bought many slaves not to make them slaves, but to free them. So he bought them and he let them be as free people. So
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. Yeah, like I get it. I get it. But as an African, like I was saying before, to me, these are just stories. Okay. Like I don't see how Islam is benefiting Africa at all. We've been Muslim for hundreds of years.
Samora, I
Look at
don't
all the
understand how
countries.
having a good afterlife isn't benefiting you, but
How do we know that? How do you know that? Who's died
that's
and
the
gone to
thing
the
though.
other
That's
side
people's
and came
opinion,
back
right?
and told
Because
us
this
what's
is
on
where
the other
piece of
side?
religion is meant to come
So
into,
this is
where
cow.
you allow
This is
people
cow
to be
stuff.
okay.
So, okay, let me get my point real quick. My point is this. If you look at every country that has abandoned these religions, for example, look at how they're thriving economically. I'll give you an example. Look at Kenya, for
God.
example, and
Tomorrow you have a
South
victim
Korea
mindset.
and
I'm so sorry.
Singapore. Let me finish my point. I was
Sorry,
quiet for
can
a
I ask
long
you a
time. I
question?
didn't interrupt anybody. Let me now let my point
Go
real
ahead.
quick.
Go ahead.
I was look at Kenya and look at Singapore, okay, and South Korea. You know what these two people did? They totally took religion out of their governance. Okay, the same thing Americans did when they separated church from state. They said, "Hey, go be whatever you're going to be, but we're going to govern our country differently and independently, and we're going to make independent economic decisions outside the influence of religion." Okay, so this is the problem with Africa. We're governing our countries based on these religious principles that are not helping us economically. This is what we're impoverished. Singapore today is a first world country. Kenya and Singapore were at the same level economically back in 1963. Okay, look at Kenya today, look at Singapore. We're putting ourselves in a Christian country. Look at Somalia, look at Tanzania, look at North Africa, look at anywhere it's considered a Muslim country. Look at how they're doing
What about
economically.
Yemen?
They're all messed up. You see what I'm saying? But the countries that abandoned religions are thriving. Look at China today. Okay, they don't govern their country based on religious beliefs. Okay, countries that govern their countries based on these stories, based on some prophets back a long time ago, speaking of afterlives that we cannot prove. Maybe it is there, but there's nobody that's died and gone to the other side and came back and tell us, hey, this is what happens after you die. So this is all speculation. Okay,
Samora,
and so we
you
cannot
have
govern reality based on fairy tales, religious fairy tales and stories. It's what we're saying as Africans. We need to abandon these religions from our governments and make
Okay.
rational economic decisions, not on religious beliefs. Because look at how impoverished we are. So in
Samora, you
Africa,
have
Okay.
it's
victim
I just want
Jesus,
to
it's
ask you a
mentality right
question
now.
Muhammad,
because I need to
and
go.
stuff.
I want to ask you
You
a
have
question
victim
because I
mentality
need to
right
go.
now, Samora. It's really sad to hear this because you're blaming the
No,
downfall of
sorry.
Africa on Muslims and Islam. Listen, Palestine, Yemen,
I'm
all
blaming
these
it on
countries, they
religion,
are
not
Muslim
Muslim and
too.
Islam. No, 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 no,
Sorry.
no, no. I
No,
said
Can I ask you
but
a
Christianity
listen,
question?
too.
the
I
reason
said
Africa and
Islam and
Kenya is
Christianity
not
has not benefited
progressing,
us.
the
Okay,
Sorry, I
reason
just want to
so
Africa and Kenya
need
is
to go.
not progressing is because we have corrupt leaders, all right? Why is South Sudan the poorest country in Africa, yet the government, I forgot his name, he is as rich as a South African government, right? Why is he doing better? Why is he dressed up in silk while
religious racism. That's why the
his
Arab North wants to
civilians
get
are
rid of the
getting
black South,
unalived
and they
based
don't
on
consider themselves as
tribal
equal
warfare?
Muslims.
Samora, listen,
Okay, so
it's nothing to
religion's
do with
already involved
Islam,
in that
okay?
Sorry.
example you're giving.
Sorry. Can I please ask you a question because I need to go a bit. So Samora Link. Okay, I just want to ask you a question. So did you know that the people who revolutionized science, technology, yeah, scholarship, and created universities and all these things were Muslims, and it has been for more than 1,000 years of dominating science and technology all over the world were Muslims.
So how is Islam
Did
involved
you
in
know that?
science?
No. Did you know that? Did you know that?
How is that? I don't know that. Explain it. How did
Okay.
Islam invent science and technology and all the universities? I'd like
Now,
to hear this.
Islam did not invent science.
You
You're
could be
saying
a
the people
Muslim
who,
and a scientist, so your religion had
yeah,
nothing to do with your profession. Okay,
I
that
agree.
you're not
I agree.
explaining anything.
I agree. I just
So
ask you a
just
question.
because you discovered something out of your scientific
We did
experiments,
not
don't
discover
your
anything. I just
religion
ask you a question. I just ask you a
credit for
question.
that. That you're making a
Listen,
false
listen.
equivalency here.
I'm not feeling well. I just ask you a question. Did you know that? That's what I said. It is a yes or no.
I didn't
Then
know
I can
that.
tell
I
you.
already told you that earlier. And even if I
Okay.
did, it didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's move on. So Islam does not stop people from developing. Islam does not stop you from doing anything good or bad. You know, you are taking into the consideration that in the past maybe 50 years, these 1, 2, 3 countries that are non-religious strive. Therefore, 1, 2, 3 countries that are religious does not strive. Therefore, religion is bad. But in reality, what you don't know, Singapore is not a country without religion. Singapore has religion. Singapore has many Muslims, Buddhists, and Christians and Hindus. They have very big regions. Singaporean are not irreligious people. I don't know if you have been to Singapore. Singaporean are not I don't even right now. I think that their president is a Muslim woman. I think so. I don't know if they change her or not. Singapore has a religion. The United States that you're talking right now, they separate the church and state. Every single political party in the United States is bringing Christianity into their conversation to talk. So they are not removing religion. China, in the other hand, they have their own concept. They're using the Confucianism without even mentioning the religion.
America
They're
does
using
not use Christianity to make laws. That's a lie.
they use
Okay, they claim to be Christian, but the debunkers every time they
I
try to say
know.
America is based on Christian values, like
Let me
hell
make
no,
my point.
hell
Let
to
me
the
make
no.
my point. I
Yes,
need
they
to
You're
make my
trying
are.
to make it based on that. So
No, what
No,
they
no. Let me
they
make my
are
point. Then I'll
though.
withdraw.
So that's actually what he's saying is right. We do based off Christianity. It may not be like in front of immigrants' faces that they do it, but we do it subtly. But we do it, and we
my
Yeah,
point
practice
is
it
this:
very heavily.
there's no law or constitution written based on Christianity. Give me one. There's none. Okay. So
Um,
if a congressman is a Christian, he's trying to push his Christian values, yeah, sure, that happens. Yeah, but you
yeah, but
cannot make a
that's
law or
exactly.
a ruling based
Kenya
on
does not have a
Christianity.
religious law.
That
Does
happens
Kenya have a
everywhere in
religious law?
Muslim countries with Sharia
No.
law
Does
and
Kenya has
everything.
a
They're trying
religious
to push
law?
Sharia law in Tanzania right now. You see what I'm saying? Which
No,
is going to burn a lot of economic things that things that could
bro.
be brought in to develop a country, but because your religion doesn't allow it, so now you're going to put
Wait,
a cap on that.
wait.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
say
This is why a lot of
yes,
countries that
you are saying
abandoned
nonsense.
their
You are saying
countries are being
nonsense.
ruled by religious
Nobody
principles are
is pushing
thriving
Sharia in
economically.
Tanzania.
And
Nobody
Africa
is
is
pushing Sharia
dumb.
in Tanzania.
But notice what's in Africa? Mosques and churches everywhere. No factories,
Listen,
no
there is no
hospitals, no
country in
nothing.
Africa. There is no country in Africa that is using Sharia as a law of the country. Give me one country that is using Sharia or is using Christian law to put the law of the country. Just one single country in the continent of Africa. Give me one country that's using Sharia
I'd say the whole
or
North
Christian law.
Africa, first of all. So what are
No,
you
they are not
talking
using
about?
Sharia. Tunisia,
Somalia is
Tunisia.
basically ruled by Sharia law at this point.
That's false. That's false. The constitution of Somalia is made in
Tanzania
Kenya.
is definitely damn
Listen, no,
near Trying
Let's
to
not jump.
introduce. This is why they're pushing
Let's not jump.
that's Samir
Let's
Salim
not
on
jump.
us
You
because
say
they're trying to
Somalia.
introduce
Prove it.
Islamic
No, no, no,
laws
no,
there.
no.
So what are you
Please,
talking about?
please, please,
Huh?
please, 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 please. You say
So
Somalia.
what
You
I'm
say
saying is
Somalia.
this: you can argue all
Listen.
day back and forth all you
Just
want to.
listen. I just listen.
We
Let
don't
people
want
talk
Islam
also.
in Africa. That's it.
Just
That's
listen.
it. We don't want
You
Christianity
are
in
no one to
Africa. We
talk
don't
for
want
us.
Islam in Africa. Let
You are no
Africans
one to
go
talk
back
for
to their
us.
spiritual
You are
religion.
no one to
Stop
talk for
pushing
us.
Islam
You
everywhere
are no.
because you're
Listen.
using Islam now to influence
Don't jump. Don't jump.
corruptors everywhere.
I told you I'm not feeling well, and you're talking without listening at all.
You're
You
not
said
making
Somalia.
sense. I've tried to
Just
listen, man.
listen.
I can't.
Listen.
I can't. We're not
Listen.
gonna.
Listen. Just listen. Give me 30 seconds. When I speak, you can speak if you want. You said the law of Somalia is putting Sharia in Somalia. That's false. The law of Somalia is right now. The law in Somalia is created by the Kenyan government with the help of the Ethiopian, with European to create the current constitution of Somalia. It was never made in Somalia. After Somalia fell, they had a civil war. It was made in Kenya. That's where it was made. He is hearing the oath Tanzania is putting. The former president of Tanzania was a Christian. The lady was his vice president. This is how it happened. It is not as if that lady just came and she started putting Sharia. That's false. There is no country in Africa that has law. Morocco is more liberal than the entire sub-Saharan Africa. Tunisia is one of the most liberal countries in the world. Trust me. They are so liberal in Tunisia that you can even talk to a woman and they will treat you like the way you see in Western countries. Tunisia is so liberal, you're not gonna compare it. They are the most liberal people among the entire continent of Africa. If you can compare it with Asia, maybe only Azerbaijan will come when it comes to liberalism in terms of liberalism in level. So let's not go and say, oh, North Africa has Sharia law. Why North Africa has Sharia law? North Africa does not have Sharia law. There is no country in Africa that has Sharia. Sharia is just mean law. They are like a formal law that Muslims are using, and this law is only used in the Khilafah. Saudi Arabia does not apply Sharia. If they apply Sharia, they will not do the slavery that they're doing today there. The same thing if you go to the Emirat, what they're doing with alcohol and all this kind of stuff. So no, don't jump and go and say, oh, Muslims are doing this, Muslims are doing that. No, there is no country that is using Sharia law today. Even Afghanistan that they are saying that they're using Sharia, they still did not implement it. Brunei tried to do it. by being one of the richest countries in Southeast Asia. The United States stopped them. So don't jump and say, oh, this country put in Sharia, something like that. No, it is not true. Muslims in Africa, the whole of Africa accepted Islam peacefully. Nobody forced on them. No Arab ever ruled in their land. In fact, the Abyssinian and the Somal ruled the Arabian Peninsula for years before Islam. They ruled the Arabian Peninsula. They controlled some part of the Arabian Peninsula. No Arab ever controlled their land. Moving from Darfur, going until the east of Mauritania, Senegal, and the entire part of the Guinea region. Not a single Arab put their hands on that land. Even south of Libya, no Arab ever ruled that land until the Italian came and created the country of Libya, blah, 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 what they did. So let's not jump and say, oh, Muslim this, that, the Arab did this, Arab did that. Arabism was introduced later on. Even Egypt, it was 500 years ago that they started implementing Arabic as the official language of the country. They used to speak a version of Arabic mixed with the Coptic language. So let's try to stop putting this misinformation. And when people talk about the African traditional religion, blah, 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 for my people, I can talk about my people. My people used to worship one God. They didn't have the idols and blah, blah, blah. No. From one side of my mom, they used to be mostly even people who do not even eat meat. They used to have a nice idea. They consume it by rarely. So let's not jump and say, oh, the African traditional religion, blah, 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 so that we can go back to the history of cannibalism, like the Southern European were doing with the cannibalism system. They abandoned the religion that they just choose. So us Muslims in Africa, most of the Muslims in Africa accepted Islam peacefully. In fact, if there are people who will complain, oh, Islam came and they conquered their land, and maybe some people came from the foreigners came and conquered their land and put Islam on them. Maybe it will be the Persian, the Levantine, the Syrian, Palestinian, and Lebanese, and the Iraqis. Maybe the Pakistanis and the Indian, the Central Asian. This maybe them. They will say, oh, some foreigners came and taught us Islam. But the rest of Africa, no. Nobody came and taught us Islam because the environment was actually very hostile for foreigners. So nobody can come and say, oh, we will go and dominate this land. For them to come to dominate this land, before the Arab even reached certain parts, they realized that most of the area converted to Islam, because in these places the culture is that if the leader that is trusted come and tell you this is what is good for us, everybody accept the religion and then we convert.
Jay, sorry, bro. You still,
No,
you
bro.
still
The problem is it turned into
heated.
yeah.
Wow. Well, look at your moderators.
What happened? I can't hear you.
I said that shows a lot about your moderator skills.
No. What
But
happened was
I
is
didn't
that
hear
everybody
any of
left
it.
because
I
they
didn't hear
were
him.
talking about the Muslim thing, and nobody wants to hear about that. So most people just left.
Yeah, it's
This
all good.
African
It's all good.
Muslim.
I just had a little.
Muslim in Africa.
Right.
Huh?
I was talking to my mom. I got into a little heated discussion with her, so I didn't hear any of it.
Pero tú vives con ella ya?
Yeah. She was mad because I was on this goddamn panel. She's like, "You're on your phone too much." Blah blah
No,
blah blah blah.
tú vives con ella, ¿ya?
Yeah, ahorita sí vivo con ella ahorita. But I'm gonna go to my uncle's house because it's just a little bit too much. I'm like in her room, in her closet. It's a little tight space right now. But she's like, she's just, I don't know. I thought everything was good. I just bought a bunch of groceries. I thought we were set, but I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I'm trying. I really am trying, but she's doing the most right now. Anyways,
Pero es tu mamá.
I know. She's my mama.
Tu mamá.
But I think she's just being a little harsh because I didn't want to go with her today to San Jose.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no?
Porque I was up until 11 o'clock last night, and she told me to go to sleep, and I went to sleep. Mm-hmm. And then at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was on my phone. I wasn't on a panel or anything, but she was like, she caught me on the phone at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she was like, "You're still on your phone?"
Sí, porque tú estás siempre en el maldito teléfono.
Exactly, bro. And I'm like, "Mom, I went to sleep. I wasn't on my phone all night, but it's not. It's something so." So now I'm addicted to my phone, and she, So I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna leave." And she's like, "All right." She did this last week too about something else. I was like, "I'm gonna leave." So I'm gonna leave. She's gonna call me back. She's gonna let's work it out. And it's just stupid because, I'm like, this is my only. I have to deal with all the court stuff, and she knows that. Like, I'm in the pending with all the appeals and the attorneys, and she's like, "Oh, I have your support. Like, you can be here, and I can help you." But like, that goes all out the window after these little arguments. That
ella te dijo, vete pa mi casa.
Yeah, vente a mi casa. Yeah, she invited me here, so I'm confused now. My mom doesn't have no man. She misses yelling at a man. And I'm like, I'm not your husband. I'm your son. And you.
Sí.
And I'm like,
Sí,
Mom,
no.
like,
No
I love
soy
you, but
no soy tu marido. No soy tu marido. Soy tu
Yeah.
hijo. No tu...
Yeah, bro, it's kind of sad, but whatever.
Ay, mi madre.
Ay, mi madre. But I'm gonna head over to my uncle's house real quick. I'm not gonna move all my shit. I'm just gonna take what I need. So, give me a second. We're gonna restart this live. Here, let's just stay here. But hey, everybody's welcome back up. Should we change the topic?
Yeah, we should change it, bro. This topic is not really.
It's a little hectic, huh?
I mean, no, it's not a bad topic, but like it's very specific. So like really only African Muslims seem to like a lot of us, we're American, we don't really know about that, so we don't really have anything to say.
And I'm trying to learn a little bit more, but some people, I guess, just it's gonna be a little too personal to them,
Yeah, for these people it's personal because they are Muslim and they are from Africa, so they obviously know more about it and have more feelings about it. We don't. Other people don't know that.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, you had some guy. He was talking in the Bruiser. Bruiser. He starts sending messages. He was like, "I'm confused. Why did you make me a moderator of an African community live? I'm American."
Oh, he came up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh wow. He said he didn't want anything to do with me last time I talked to him. He was trying to act.
You made him
harder
a moderator though.
I
You made him
took
a
him off
mod.
today. I edited everyone out.
No,
So
he's on. I guess you forgot because he left a message. If you scroll in the comments, he says, "Vibes, why did you make me a moderator of an African community
so
live? I'm
let me
American, not
show
African."
you that I took him off. Remember when I was talking to you from the beginning? I took all the moderators off. I left you on. I left a couple more people off, but I took Bruiser off today. So he can't use that. No one invited him up. He just came on thinking that he was still a moderator probably and had
Oh,
all
he
that to
ran
say.
afterwards.
Yeah. I took him off. I'm for sure took him off
He claimed
today.
he claimed he was a moderator still, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Because he was throughout like yesterday and the days before, but he isn't one now. So I don't know what he's saying.
He kept on emphasizing like he was really pissed about that, or I don't know.
Well, then fucking leave. You don't have to be on the panel.
That's what I said. I was like, "Well, bro, just leave, boy."
Why are you so hurt?
Yeah, it was wild, but I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, here, give me a sec, bro.
Let me see, bro. Keep on.
Oh my God! You hear me? You hear me
Hey,
crying?
no. ¿Por qué estás
Let me
llorando?
invite a bunch of people up right now.
¿Por qué estás llorando?
I'm fucking raining like crazy. I'm walking in the rain.
¿Por
Hold
qué tú
on,
estás llorando?
hold on. Hey, we
¿Eh?
got people in the chat, bro. They're waiting to get on. Hey, you can invite people too while you're a mod too. Like
It
people
won't
waiting
let
in
me.
the
It won't
chat.
let me do. It won't let me do it when you're away.
What?
¿Me oyes? Yeah, when you're away, I tried to invite I
Yeah.
tried to add Divine, and it said you cannot add her to the thing while you're away. Like you have to be you once
Oh,
you're
because
away.
I
I
cut
can't.
off the.
Yeah, it locks it where I
I gotta
can't
be
add
on. I
people
gotta be
into
on.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Pero tú puedes
I'm gonna text
cambiar
people.
la
Let's call
tema
them.
y. Pero
Ya
tú
se
puedes
cambió. Ya se
cambiar
cambió.
la tema y puedo ir de ahí.
Ya vamos a
Sí.
cambiarla. What do you want it to change to? Let's see. Here's a
Como
better.
quieres.
I mean, let's start here. I mean, this is a good starter, I guess.
You love this shit.
I love this shit.
This bullshit. Bro, I don't know why you give this man any. Like, I wouldn't even focus on who.
It's not even about that. It's about the people that come up to defend him. You know,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
give
I
a
got
fuck
you.
about
Yeah.
Tyreek.
I got you. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is a Tariq
It's
Nasheed?
like-
Like, since when does he define anybody in this country? The fuck is this nigga? Like, bruh. Like people talking. I'm like, why do people care?
Well, the hoes come up to protect their Mac, their pimp. Well,
They can protect him. I mean, that's some like weird stuff, bro.
so let them come on to try to defend this man. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Now, if you have a problem, I just want to make it relatable to the black MAGAs and the FBA MAGAs. If you
The black
if you're
MAGAs.
going along, the black MAGAs and the FBA MAGAs.
The Anglos.
The Anglo MAGAs, okay? They're gonna be like, we're not white, and we're gonna be like, yeah, you are. Let me show you.
You say speak English. They tell you to speak English. Go get your burrito. Go right.
Yeah, you're gonna have that same xenophobic sentiments. Then okay, let's go.
They call la migra on you. Llame la migra.
Right.
They would.
Yeah, they want to act like they're fucking homeland. They want to act like they're Homeland Security and ICE.
But bro, I look at it from this perspective. If people want to do that, that's their prerogative. But then don't later on try to say, "Oh, we're all one people." See, that's my problem. It's like, no, it's either you have it this way or that way. And I think the issue is that people kind of want to have it both ways, and you can't have it both ways. Either you're an Anglo-American, that is your identity, that's what you identify with, and everybody else is outside of that circle, or you're something else, right? You feel me?
Right. Exactly. That's all we're trying to. That's all it is, man. We're just gonna draw the line in the sand right there, because I think that's a safe space to draw the line. You know, it's not to hate on your lineage, you know, and all that. Like, let's just get down to the bottom of it. If we hear you talking like Tyreek, if we hear you talking like that white nationalist rhetoric with the blackface, you're gonna use your
That
blackface.
Anglo-American rhetoric. That's what it is. Because it encompasses both the so-called white people and so-called black people who want to, right, call ICE on people and claim. I remember even when the Guala, I think it was the last one we were on, they were trying to assume he was something, and it was like, well, how do you know what he is? They were like, oh, we just know you. I think it was that black dude that you were told that was you got into it with. His name is actually black or whatever it is.
You know.
Yeah,
And
Black
like assume,
514 or some shit.
yeah, remember he was trying to say, oh, I can tell you're something Mexican. And you were like, how do you know what I am, bro? Like, you don't even know. He just assumes, yeah.
Yeah, he went all over the place.
Yeah, he was like going deep, and it's like, bro, you don't know me. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. But that's like, again, I was telling before you got here, like early on, Nicole, I was telling him that's this whole. They actually see themselves. I call them Anglo Americans, and I group them together because see, they have this whole thing where they've decided that the United States is their country, they're English, whether they're white or black, and everybody else is an outsider, and they're just going to dictate who gets to be in and who gets to be out.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, how they're even doing it to Africans. I'm like, how can you do that to an African? You don't even live in Africa. You never lived in Africa, never been to Africa.
Right.
That shit don't make sense to me. I'm like, I would never.
You've never even been there, right?
I would never say like. I would just never say that to somebody to a part of the world I have no idea of what's going on.
Facts.
It don't make no
right.
sense.
Facts, bro. Like, right.
Right. And same with, yeah, Black has never been to Africa, you know, or I don't think he's been even to Jamaica, you know. But he has such an affinity to protect the to his people, you know, and that's not what I'm getting at though. Like if you want to proclaim something, I've never been to Eritrea, right? I've been to Mexico, but I haven't been to Eritrea. I can't how do I put this? It's like, you know, when you Black's on here every day though, you know.
Yeah.
He's on here like it's his job, you know. I'm not on here like that, you know. And so he's taking his non-paying job. He's taking his non-paying job a little too serious, you know. And he's attracting all that negative tension, talking about pretending to pull up, you know. So he wants that. He wants the beef, you know. So when the beef comes, he's like, well, I don't want, you know, I'm here to build with my African brothers, you know.
Oh, that last live though, where he and I went at it. I mean, I remember telling. He said that I debunked him like for 3 weeks, and I was like, "Well, where's the material?" Because that would be, I'm genuinely interested. And he's like, "Oh no, I did it on some live." I was like, "Well, why don't you post it on your account?" You know, like he's like, "Well, I don't need to do that." And I was like, "Well, no, I mean, I was like, for people that are joining." I said, "Look, not for me or for any." He's like, "I don't do that for pretendings." I was like, "Not for the pretendings, for your own people. Like, if you have a claim." And you've substantiated it with literature, the best thing you could do for your quote people is to post it so that they have a reference, so that they can, if someone ever does question them, they'd be like, look, here's the reference. Look at this right here. Look at all this source material that substantiates this position. Nothing like that.
Yeah. Right. They're just gonna well, he did the same thing with me. He was like, and then I was just like, okay, whatever, you're right. And then he got frustrated because I wasn't engaging him. Because he wanted to have that back and forth, and I'm like, bro, I don't do that with people who,
I remember that.
I was like, and he started getting
he acts like he doesn't remember you. I'm like, Jay, you remember that conversation you had with Jay? He's like, what? Who?
Yeah. Jay's pretty impressionable. I remember the second he got on.
I'm like, bro,
right?
Because like, if you're not gonna if you're just gonna assert stuff and then be like, no, that's just the way it is, and then okay, so then you don't even want to have a conversation, then, bro. So why am I even bothering?
No, the funny thing is, Jay, check this out. So he and I went at it like probably three days ago, and he's like, he's saying, you know how he is. I'm Black. I'm African. And I was like, okay, and then we started getting into it, and I was like, I told Sage, I was like, I gave Sage Rick Kittles 3 times on 2 different posts, and he's like, and then he's like, who's Rick Kittles? And I was like, what? I was like, who's Rick Kittles? I was like, what are you talking about? Who's Rick Kittles? And he's like, I was like, you just said you referred to your ancestry, your ancestry test. I was like, Rick Kittles is the basis of AfricanAncestry.com. How could you claim that you're African and not know who Rick Kittles is? He's like, I don't give a fuck what it says. He said, I just look at the reports. I was like, that's not scholarship. Just because you get a report doesn't mean shit. You gotta verify the literature that says you're African or whatever. You got to go into the history. He had no clue, and that's what I could see him later on in the live. He was just like, he actually said, I might not know as much as I thought. He's like, I didn't realize there was so much racism going on in Ancestry. And I was like, how? Like, that would be the first thing for me. It took me like 6-7 years to figure it out. I was like, these things, I got it so far into haplogroups and all that stuff. And then I caught myself. I was like, well, what do I know about this history? So then from that point on, I started going backwards instead of forwards. And that cleared everything up.
Yeah, it's like, and I remember there was another guy too. I think he was on the same live that day, and you and I were talking to him, and he was trying. I think you asked him. You were like, "Well, do you know the origin of FBA? Like the origin of that concept? Like who started that?" And then he had no idea. And we were like, "So how are you calling yourself FBA? And you're like claiming this hard, but you don't even know like the history."
I love to throw that.
I still have that recording.
Love to throw that one in there.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like people are just taking these things and running with it. They don't know the history. They don't know the backstory. And it's like, yeah, it's hard to like talk to them because then they just want to start asserting stuff. And it's like, but you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know where it comes from. You're just saying it. Because it's, I guess that's the thing to say today, right? Like monkey see, monkey do. I don't know. It's
Hey, we got a spy here. We got Capone. You know, one of Black's. One of Black's
Capone been
spies
checking
there.
he's been checking my account, fam.
Come
He's been
through,
in my account last.
Come through, Capone. Capone is the one that started the whole shit between me and Black. So I'm happy to have you up, Capone. But I know you're not gonna come up, bro. You ain't.
Yeah,
you
he's
ain't
checked
got-
my
you ain't
account the
got
last
balls,
3
bro.
days, bro.
Bro,
3
I
days.
already know.
I was like, who's this Capone?
Him and Black were like, I'm like, post the whole video. I don't want to see no clips. Post the whole video so I can see it and clip it myself. You know, I mean, I want to see the whole thing in its entirety. They're like, all right, fine, you were racist, and we're gonna show you that you're a racist. I'm like, all right, go ahead. They post it. And I didn't look at Black shit all day, but he took it down, right? He took it down, and I see Capone over there. Yeah, he's like forward to 4:55, like the hour or whatever that I said. They call me a white boy, so I'm like, yeah, I'm your slave master. You know, I'll put that knee on your neck. And they turned that into me being a racist person, me being an Ethiopian, racist, East African. And then I told this bitch to shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh, don't talk to our queen like that. We should beat you up for that. I was like, all right, well, let's go. Like, so we just went down the rabbit hole. And then that fool was like, yeah, I never liked that guy. Black said a bunch of shit. He's the one coming up to me asking me to do panels and shit. So I don't know, bro. So, but regardless, you know what I did? I exited myself the right way. I said, hey, yo, Black, I never thought it was going to get this far, but whatever. Fuck Capone. Fuck that bitch, fuck that French bitch, you know, and
that's the right way, right there, bro.
And then I came back and I saw Capone trying to apologize. Like, look, we should all be better. Like, I could tell they wanted to apologize, but they never did. So I chimed in there because Mansa had my back. Mansa was in there just being like, you guys called him white boy. You know he's for our people. You know this. And so I appreciate Mansa for that. And anyways, I just want, and other people were up there that had my back because we were talking about the Arabism in Africa and they were being a little too extreme about it.
Bro, Mansa was funny as fuck last night, bro. With
the whole brother, with J Money. Or who was it? Was it J Money?
Yeah, it was J Money, but it's always J Money, bro.
Oh man.
Actually, it's not always J Money. It's also Sage. You know what I'm saying?
Sage lives in the comments. Sage, come on up, man.
Yeah, get up here, Sage. Like Sage right now, look at him. He's saying he says, I don't use Rick Kittles. I'm like, if you understand, it doesn't matter if you refer to anything African ancestry, Sage, then you are referring to Rick Kittles. He's the basis.
Sage, I appreciate you because you have another side of the thing. You know, you're always the opposite of the arguments. Obviously, you know, you do a lot of engagement down there in the comments. So but Nagwal's my homie. You know, you guys have made up a couple times, but you guys always have some. It never gets hashed out, you know. And whatever. If it doesn't need to be hashed out, it doesn't need to be hashed out. But you're welcome to stay in the comments. You know, it's all good. I think Sage gets a lot more out of this because he respects. I think he respects you secretly, Nagwal, but he just can't tell you. You know.
Nagwal, I have a question for you. Your opinion on something. Why do you think that people, particularly in the United States, I've noticed this phenomena, seem to have this I forget. I can't think of the right word at the moment to call it. I don't want to say obsession, but it's like some type of. They have this thing where they are like dead set on tying their identity to some type of to whatever, some type of results they get from some type of ancestry thing. As opposed to other people who are just like, okay, I was raised up, you know, in this identity, you know, whatever, and this is who I am. Why? Like, it's like I noticed because even these other people that are on this panel earlier, what woman's name you had up vibes? Or the other one, her and Divine don't get along.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Sister.
There's some sister, whatever, soul sister.
Smart. Her name's Smart.
Smart sister.
Smart sister.
Like her. Like even when she's saying, well, you know, we're just Africans in America. And I'm like, well, where are you getting that from? Because Divine was basing it on her genealogy records. Where are you getting that you're an African? First of all, and I kept pointing out, African, first of all, is not an identity. It's not an ethnicity. So whatever that means. But what do you mean? And then unless Smart Sister, your parents or grandparents are recent immigrants from that continent, what do you mean you're African? Like, where are you? And it seems like they're buying into that narrative about, like you were talking about with this whole this DNA ancestry thing. And that's where they're tying that to. And I'm like, but if you were born and raised in America, why are you saying, oh, but screw that. Everybody's identity, because black seem to be arguing the same thing. Everybody's identity is tied to this DNA. And I'm like, says who? That's like a decision you're deciding. You're making that up. You don't have to tie your identity to DNA at all. You can tie identity to many things, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
so why do you think people do that?
People do it because of the fact that they believe that science is an absolute thing, as though there's no divergence from it. So when you have like a thing that someone says, okay, this is science, it's like, okay, 1 + 2 + 3, you know, like all this shit. It's like, no.
Yeah, that's not science, right?
There's data, and then there's interpretations of data. So when people think that because it's a science, they don't realize, like Sage is the prime example. He believes in the science, but he doesn't know the history of the science. So when you don't know the history, you can't properly interpret modern science if you don't have its cultural context. And by going into its
So
cultural
would it be
context,
fair, Nagwal?
Go
Sorry
ahead.
to cut you off, Nagwal. Would it be
No.
fair that you need all sides of it, not just one side? So the DNA could help them, and me and Jay have talked about this, how, you know, it goes back to a nation state. It goes back to a certain thing that is in modern terms, you know, to tie you to the land, right? But even then, like let's say somebody just has an affinity to Africa, regardless if they are from here or not, because the big contention is whether these black people in America are African or indigenous people. Now, we have two different stories, right? Now, one is saying that the slave ships never happened, that all the people here in America are indigenous. There's another side, you know, they say less than 1% are African. Then the other says the complete opposite, right? It says that most of the people here are African. And so I think, and like I said before, I said this to both Smart and Divine. I said, like, you guys can negate each other and still be on the same page. She's saying African people aren't indigenous, right? Fine, I'm not. Divine says, fine, I'm not African. So you're right, sister. But what Divine does is say that no, they're not African. They're actually this. So she's claiming those same people that she's identifying as African. She's saying no, that family is actually our family. So you see how she does
no, but wait a minute. But listen to, but
hold
see,
on,
but
hold
I
on.
clarified that, bro. Go ahead, keep going.
Let me land though. Let me land.
Yeah,
So
there you go. Yeah,
she again, lo voy a terminar. She says, I'm saying they can agree to disagree. They can agree to agree. They can say, so again, these are the big contentions, right? Now, the valid points of Divine, I get it. Her genealogy, she can't trace anything that says African throughout her whole ancestry, her immediate family that goes back to her great, 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 great. You know what I mean? And that's valid. Now, Smart. I don't know if she can do the same thing. I don't know if she can tie herself to Africa based off of her family, right? She wasn't really revealing that, right? She was just going with the narrative of what has been told to us about how we came to America, right? So, but she has more in relation to people here in America. She's like, Divine, my people are from where your people at, but I'm African, you know? Yeah. So I'm saying, what is the middle ground, though? I'm not talking about who's right and who's wrong. Where's the middle ground in this? How can they both walk away and be secure in their identity and respect each other? Can it happen?
It can. The responsibility is placed on each person to acknowledge the limitations of what we're drawing from, so the so-called science and the so-called genealogy. I wasn't aware until I got to this rare paper that's Genetics and Genealogy, the History and Methodology, that it wraps up pretty much the entire history of genetics and genealogy because of the fact that it's such a recent history. So genealogy is tied to paperwork, but paperwork is pretty much limited to censuses. So with the oldest census is 1790, right. But the one that's most applicable to us is around 1860. So, and even then, that was a very limited source. There are people who do have other sources like Bibles that they've kept records in, churches that kept records, but those are very limited. Then you go into the genetics side, which is what a lot of people are clinging to. But once I got into it, I was like, okay, if I'm going to substantiate anything, I have to substantiate everything. So when it comes to ancestry DNA, you have to go into dating methodologies, and when you go into those testing methodologies, they don't pan out. What I learned is that every single testing methodology, as far as like past a few generations is inconclusive and most often contradict themselves. So when it comes to any person claiming that they're from Africa, to reach beyond the so-called point of, slavery, 1619, it's nearly impossible. Even the David Eltis claim that I say, the 1870 census said there was 4 million slaves here in the United States, and less than 1% were African. That is a substantiated claim. And David Eltis has access to people who have their historians, their geneticists. But I wouldn't give much claim to geneticists because the entire history is so. For anyone to make any type of claim, there's really no way that anybody can say we all come from Africa, because no one was there at the exact moment when we birthed out of so-called Africa. That's just an impossibility. That's why I say any person that claims to be Aboriginal, if they claim that they're originally from a land, I'm like, bullshit. You cannot go back to that point in time and show me the genetic evolution of these people that are now claiming out Aboriginal. That's just impossible.
Okay, thank you, Nagwal. Jay, I know you wanted to speak on it. 808, welcome. Come on up, 808. Jay Money, welcome back up. I know you took quite it was like 5 against 1, Jay Money, and I respect you for that, brother. You stood tall. You stood 10 toes down, and I respect you even more for that, Jay Money.
Hey, man, let me just say this, because I'm at work and I'm about to get back to work. Bro, so I don't really get on here like make it a competition, bro. For me, it's just a conversation, and I don't take anything personal. And people have different beliefs, and I respect other people's beliefs. People come from different backgrounds, and they see the world differently. And so I just see it differently, and it makes sense to me. And if it makes sense to you, that's cool. But I'm pretty strong in my understanding of and my belief and my culture and my tradition, and I'm happy, man. And if you're happy with what you believe, that's okay, brother. That's all that matters, man. As long as you're internally peaceful, that's all that matters, brother. And
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah. I'm content with my identity. I'm content with my belief. I'm content with everything, man. And that's all that matters,
Yeah, facts. Well stated, my brother. Well stated. Kalala, welcome to the panel. I see you just came up. Do you mind introducing yourself with your race or ethnicity and where you're from, please?
I'm Eritrean. I'm from Eritrea, and
Eritrean brother. Okay.
yeah, I just saw my flag here. It said Africa, Muslim, and Arabism in Africa.
Yes, brother. Yes, I'm happy you came up. So my father's Eritrean. That's why I got it up. I do want to learn more about. Yeah, I want to learn more about my. I didn't grow up with my father. I finally was reunited with him and the other side of my family, and I can't wait to reunite with them. But on this subject, it's a little different context. I just like to make it more towards that region, brother, so I can understand more of the politics and that's concerning with me, because we can talk about Africa as a whole, right? Africa as a whole continent, and how African Muslims or Arabism in Africa there. But I appreciate you for coming up, and anything that you want to add to this conversation, brother, is much appreciated. The floor is yours, brother.
Okay, before that, what is your half? Are you mixed with Arabs or Black American?
So my other half is Mexican, Afro-Mexican.
Mexican, okay. That's good. Okay, so what I was gonna say, right? We literally have a problem with Arabism. Everyone knows that, Eritrea, geographically is next to the Arabs. I don't really speak English, right? I'm just gonna try. So,
I hear you. I understand you, brother. Go ahead, though.
okay. So there's the Arabs. Because we live next to the Arabs. We share the sea next to the Arabs, and the Ottoman before conquered Eritrea and the Egyptians, and we fought them. There was a if you do research, there's a battle of Gura
Adwa.
and sorry, the other two. I was gonna say the Gura and the Battle of Gundat. There's two battle that we had with the Arabs, with the Mahadist, and they Arabized Sudan and they came to Eritrea. The Arabized, they used to burn church and that.
This
They used to burn church.
for
They
Italian,
burn a lot
British,
of
brother.
books. What was that?
This was before this is before the Italians and the British were there, or
Yeah, this
after?
is like 1817 something. Yeah, before like the Italians.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Yeah.
you, brother. Go ahead.
And in Eritrea, the majority is Tigrinya, and there's the Tigray tribe. And Eritrean official language is Tigrinya. Everyone does speak Tigrinya. Like I'm from Eritrea, I don't even speak no Arabic at all. Right? But the problem now we have is like there's that people that when they become Muslims, they want to claim Arab. You get me? Like they're
Right,
the
right.
same
That's
people
what
as
we've
us,
heard.
and when they become Muslims, they just want to be Arabs. That's the most problem we got. But there we have like one tribe called Rashida. They are like 1% of Eritrea, and they came from Saudi. They had a fight on Saudi, like you know the Arabs. They fight by tribes, and they lost, and they come to Eritrea, and they, I mean, the government allowed them to go, like to get dual citizenship, so they live in Sudan and Eritrea in the border. Most Eritrean, they don't even like they have never seen them in person, but they are considered as Eritreans. Yeah, but the Arabism is it's a big problem. I'm not like it's a big problem. What makes it a big problem is some Eritrean people, because the religion they want to be Arabs, you know, because of the religion. That's the biggest problem we have. Yeah, man. I don't know. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Kalala. Am I pronouncing it right? Kalala? Kalala, do you think like Islam is foreign to them? I know Arabism, right? It's obviously the root of it, mostly
is
from the
foreign
Middle
to
East, right?
It is for
Yeah,
it
at this
is
point too,
it is foreign to
that's a good point to point out, right? Because like Islam, you know, ruled in the present, how Arabs have it to this day, how they've been able to cause so much, so many, what is
They used to
so many like
conquer lands, man.
G-sides, you know, among.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah, they used to. Like like our
Was there
grandfathers, they
a
always tell
time?
us, cause yeah, I think you
No, go ahead,
kind
brother.
of like you love. Yeah, you know, like if you ask like the grandparents, I grew up in Eritrea, so the many churches in Eritrea, if you go to Eritrea, is they would, like we used to build them in the mountains, cause like because they used to burn them, you know, like you have to like convert or they would burn them, you know what I'm saying? That's what they used to do.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Salem witch trials, guys, here in America. You know, if you didn't convert, you were done for. And now, Kalala, I'm asking you. I'm going to ask you this specific question. Was there a time in Ethiopia or Eritrea, right, or Aksum, right, where all religions were like cohesive, right? We talking about Judaism, Christianity, and Muslims, like because they're
No,
all the same people, right? Like all it was always conflict, it was always issues. Is that what I'm hearing?
there was issues, right? Yes, because the Arabs, right? The Ottomans, and they used to control like all the seaports, and they used to convert people to Muslims, right? And they literally colonized Eritrea for over 300 years. So
Okay, all right. Thank you so much,
yeah.
Kalala. I do want to let my brothers and sisters here respond to what you've said. Sorry, just my brothers. I'm gonna start with Jay. Jay, do you have any questions for Kalala?
Yes, I do actually. Kalala, I have a question. So I know there's this situation, Eritrea, gained its independence from Ethiopia at some point in history. But then there are people who clearly were born prior to that independence, and they would have been born in Ethiopia. So how does it, in place, what's called Ethiopia, but how do they identify, though being born in Ethiopia, or when it was Ethiopia, controlled by Ethiopia, how do they identify as Eritreans? Like, that's what I want to know.
Okay, so for the majority, the Tigrinya tribe, we had a law, like if he come from anywhere, like from Ethiopia or somewhere, if he stayed in Eritrea like 40 years and he become Eritrean, he get a land and he get a family. But after the independence, I mean, if your father is Ethiopian, you go to Ethiopia. If your mother is Eritrean, you still are Ethiopian. That's how it was.
Yeah, that's interesting. So then, okay, that's what I'm asking though. So like, you said most Eritreans belong to the Tigrinya people, right? Tigrinya ethnic group.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then clearly when Ethiopia was ruling over the entire area, you had Tigrinya people under their control. Now, but I'm saying let's say somebody who is Tigrinya tribe was born in Ethiopia, are they still considered Eritrean or are they Ethiopian? That's what I want to know.
The tribe, like our tribe, Tigrinya, there's in Ethiopia as well. There's more Tigrinya in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay, got you.
So, I mean, like, when the Italians came as well, so they divided the Eritrean Tigrinyas and the Ethiopian Tigrinyas. So the hate is like between us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying there's people on both sides that are both part of the same group, Tigrinya, in the Ethiopian side and the Eritrean side.
Yeah, I mean, we literally was the same. We used to fight the Arabs at the same time. I mean, like the kings that were fighting, like King Alula or King Johannes, that was fighting the Egyptians, were from Tigray region.
Tigray, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we had the same empire before.
And Kalala, can you explain what Tigray is, and then Tigrinya? Because Tigrinya is the language of Eritreans, right? But Tigray is an actual different. It's a different, right, brother?
Yeah, it's just I think it is not different. It is the Italian that made the. I mean, the Italian separating us, like because the Tagaru was fighting them in Adwa, and because we got conquered, because they normally come from the sea, so we were like next to the sea, right? So they captured so we are next to the sea.
They got your port,
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? So we got caught, and like some Tigrinya Eritreans they had to go to Ethiopia.
Can I have the definition of what Tigray and Tigrinya actually mean, besides it being a language and a people?
Tigrinya. So we are both Tigrinya. Like
Tigrinya.
the word Tigray is just a place. It's nothing. Like, it's just a place, a region in Ethiopia. No one says he's now because like we have been separated for over 100 years. It's like people are taking it as something, but before the Tigray was just a region, like, you know what I'm saying, like a area, like
an area on the map. A location.
It's just a region.
It's just a region. So Tigray is the region, and Tigray, I'm sorry. Tigray is the region, a physical place in Ethiopia, and Tigrinya is the ethno-linguistic group, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like,
we
actually have like the same culture, language, and
so you guys can say, even though also
under Semitic color. Sorry.
I think so. Linguistically, I'm not sure about the thing, but yeah, we are Semitic in.
So Kalal, do they? So Tigrinyas who live in Ethiopia on the Ethiopian side, and can't start me say the word. Sorry. Tigrinyas who live on the Eritrean side. You guys both see yourself as the same people.
We are the same people, man. But
you're just in different nation states. Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
And let me tell you, because Jay, like you find some Eritreans, they say like we are not the same, and you will find
We have. That's why I'm asking, because we
little
have.
things that say we are not the same. But
Yeah.
if you ask like our grandparents and they know that we are the same. Like I'm not that brainwashed to say we are not the same, because
All right.
we are literally the same. We have no difference.
It's just you guys
Okay.
ended up on separate sides of the border. Got it. Okay. Make perfect sense.
Italy came first.
Vibes, this is very eye opening for you. Vibes, this
I
changes.
know. I'm happy you're asking.
I'm like, wait,
I'm
what?
happy you're asking. I'm happy
like,
you're asking
wait.
these questions. Sir. I really am, and I do want to ask you more questions, Kalala. I do want to let Nagwal. Hey, welcome up, S. Michael, and welcome up, Smart. Welcome back up again. Hey, S. Michael, you saw me on that Blacks
Yo,
panel,
Black
man.
turned against me, and Capone turned against me.
Man, you know, if you had a stick up for me, you know he was gonna come after you, bro. I had a stick up for Nagwal, and he went after me, so it's all good.
Capone kept telling me that
Fuck
you sent me
Capone.
to his live again. I'm looking like, bro.
Oh my god! I was like, because Black's like, you know, S. Michael. I was like, I barely remembered you, S. Michael. But then I remembered a conversation we did. I'm like, yeah, Michael, but I couldn't remember it was S in front of it. But
He said
but
no.
no, thank you for having my back. Thank you for having my back, bro. Because you were like one. You know, the conversation was one sided, and
They were such a
I was
bandwagon
surprised
party,
that
to
Black
be
turned
honest,
his
bro.
back on me. You feel me?
They
But
were
whatever.
such a bandwagon.
But yeah, appreciate you, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and let Nagwal. Do you have any questions for Kalala regarding the topic at hand?
I got nothing.
All right, thank you. Smart, welcome back up, sister. Do you have? Do you want to respond to anything that's been said, or do you want to? Welcome back. Do you want to respond to the prompt?
Thank you.
Just going down.
It's so interesting. I just love learning stuff. I just wanted to know, and you can tell me, when people always talk about the Middle East, is the middle of what and the east of what? Could you please explain that to me?
So it's a Eurocentric concept, because Middle
Of
East is
course.
supposed to be east of Europe. To what's called, but it actually is shifted. What, like Egypt, Palestine, Syria, all those places, that was Turkey. That was originally called the Near East, and then Iran, Iraq, that was the Middle East, and then China was the Far East. Now they dropped the term Near East and they just call the area the Middle East, or now it's West Asia technically. But it's a
Right.
European concept. People from there obviously don't think they're the Middle East.
Of
Just like
course.
China doesn't think it's the Far East. China thinks it's the center of the world and you're east of
Right.
it. So,
Of
right?
course. I know. I
Yeah.
just want to hear different perspectives on how people look
Yeah,
at it.
it's European. It's just European people.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
And we were talking,
Yeah.
Smart, before you left last night, we were also talking about like Africa 10,000 years ago, when the Middle
Right.
East was just as green as Africa, when Africa was as green as possible. It was like, that's why it was considered like Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden, because and this is one creation story, right? This is one African creation story. But just to show you that the Middle East was part of Africa, they have cave paintings in the Middle East that still show African people and the animals that they had
Of
back then. The
course.
lion, the elephant. A lot of back 10,000 years ago. Oh man! So I showed a video of Nagus, a brother, and then Haji, a Somali, talking to each other, and they're like, "Nagus, you Eritrean, you Afro-Asiatic, you're not from Eritrea. You are actually from Asia. And back 10,000 years ago, you guys migrated to what is known now as the Middle East." And he tells them, "You brought your cows and your goats, because that's not indigenous to Africa. Us drinking milk is unnatural to African people." He was talking about the Bantu people in Africa, and he was saying that those African people did not need the cow, did not need to suckle from the cow's breast milk. that these animals that they brought from another continent, Asia, during the desertification, right? So you guys know what monsoons are? Monsoons is the storm, right? The rain. Yeah. So I don't know what that brother said, every 20,000 years the monsoons change from Asia to Africa, and how this assisted these new people that come to Africa and desertify their continent, and how when they brought these animals that weren't indigenous to Africa, how those animals came, grazed on their grasslands, and turned Africa into a desert. Obviously, right now, not all of it is desert, but back then it was more luscious, more greenery, more forestry, more jungle, and the people didn't have to do all this farm and all this other stuff because everything came off the trees. Everything that we needed was in the jungle. We didn't need different forms of a way of life, like the nomad, right, or the I forget that term, the pastoralist, or you know what I mean. So again, this is 10,000 years ago, right? So it makes a lot of sense about how we see ourselves today in the present time and how we see different ethnic groups. So my question to you, Kalala, my brother, my biggest contention is about how Eritreans or Ethiopians or Habesha people are mixed with Arabs. They want to make us mix with Arabs so bad. And with that theory, we're mixed with a lot of different people. We're not indigenous to East Africa. Now, I heard again from an elder, she's like, well, we're not all mixed. Obviously, we have the Italians. Obviously, we had the Arabs. Obviously, we had the British. There's so many different people coming into that region to get the port, to get the Red Sea. But at the same time, she was telling me how Africa is so diverse. You can see every featureism, every color, every feature, every texture of hair,
Right.
is diverse in Africa. You can get it all from Africa. That's like but this sister was telling me it's not always about what you're mixed with. It's about she was talking about the highlands of Ethiopia, the highlands of Eritrea, how brothers and sisters had the churches up on mountains, how we were able to have the altitude to help shape our noses, our features that don't exemplify our mixing, that we can attribute this to other things that happened in our environment that changed us. But then I had another brother up here, Sam, that said, well, that actually came from us isolating our tribes and intermixing within our own family. So pretty much what he was saying, brother, he was saying incest, that we were only messing with our own people and didn't want to include any other African people. We kept that to ourselves, and that's how we look the way we look. And that's why East Africans look the way they look, and they don't look like the West Africans, right?
That's not true, because
So please, brother, I'm just telling you, there's different. I gave you two. I gave you two.
Yeah. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
explain it to you. So there's Muslims that mix with each other, right? They gonna mix with their cousin and that. But in Tigrinya, it's not allowed. Like, you have to count 7. Then after 7, that's the only thing you can marry. You cannot marry anyone that close before 7 cousin. So that's not true. But the thing is, the Amharic, there's Amharic and there's Tigrinya, but we never mix it with Amharic that much. You get me? So we have differences. I mean, it's hard to understand. You probably need to visit, bro.
No. Hold on. We can figure this out. So you said you can't mix within your 7th, as far as your 7th cousins or your 7th something within Tigrinya culture. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you can mix after that. You can mix with the 8th and the 9th or the 10th cousin.
I think after 9, it dies, innit? It dies, because if you think about, let's say you get your grandma, right? Your grandma will come from another village, and your grandma cousin is, so you count 7 from your grandma and your grandfather, so it's quite far, I think.
That's an equal measure to be like, all right, I'm not committing incest. Okay, that's fair.
It's not really you don't have to do that. You can marry far away too, but yeah,
Right.
that was if he's less than 7, that's illegal. That's what I was saying.
Illegal to who? Illegal to the government? Illegal to the clan or the tribe? Or illegal to who exactly?
I think it's to cultures and tradition and the religion as well. Orthodox.
Okay. And then this is Orthodox Christianity, right? What about the Muslims? Do you think if they were converted to Islam, would it be different?
I think,
The Arabization.
the Muslims, they do practice that. They
don't? They don't?
They do.
Oh, they do. So okay.
They don't really marry with us, so I don't know.
So you're saying that part, that sect of Eritreans or Ethiopians, that sect might have participated in that.
The
And
Muslims. I mean, it's all over the world though. It's not only in Eritrea, but they do. I mean, it came from the Arab culture, so it came with the religion and like it's mixed with the religion and the Arab culture.
right,
So
but that practice itself, my brother, do you think that that's not overwhelmingly the majority of our people, right? It's just a sect of it, but just because they practice that doesn't mean the whole region practice the same way they practice
no,
it.
it's
Is
just
that correct?
it's just the Muslims. Like you cannot stop them. Like I mean, what are you gonna do? They just say it's their religion, it's their right. So you can't force them to marry you, innit?
But still, close cousin. Disclaimer. Close cousins.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but that,
It's
bro,
not their
like
brothers. It's just a close cousin. Okay,
well,
I got. We had that from yesterday too.
you know what they do, right? They probably mix with their first cousin. So it's not. I mean, it's really
First
popular in
cousin is
Somalia,
crazy.
like in Somali, like Somalia, like. But I think the Ethiopian and the Eritrean Muslims are a bit better, I think, in that thing. But they still can practice. It's not haram for them. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love how you said that, brother. I love how you said like our Muslims are better.
I think that's what I thought because like I grew up with some of them, right? And I was comparing it with Somalia. I think Somalia is like 100% Muslim, right? So they quite practice it highly in Somalia. That's what I thought. I don't know.
Well, I've heard different. I have a couple of Somali brothers up here, but they are Muslim, but they also there's some. It's different. I really can't give you a figure, or I can give you like a.
I think the
But
Sufis,
I think you're right in some way. But I've heard different variations of it. So that's why I'm here to learn.
because like in Eritrea there's different tribes of Muslims, right? So they can
Right.
marry like other tribes. So it
And
makes
that's why I'm up here, because I want to
Yeah.
hear from like every particular one, not to take anything away from that. But thank you so much, Kalala and Kalala S Michael. I think I'm gonna let everybody ask you questions, Kalala, because we're all very interested in this culture as well as I am. And I'm sorry
Can
if
I
you feel like we're.
can I ask which is it? Are they mostly Sunni or Sufi, or does that apply? Like what
All right,
type
that's
of
one
Muslim?
question. You can answer
Okay,
that. I'm
so
gonna
let me
get to S
explain this.
Michael.
Okay, so most of them, most the Horn Africa. I mean, I can't say about Somali. Habesha were like Sufi Muslims because they used to practice other religion before Islam, so they were more into spirituality. They had like so if you go to Ethiopia, they had Wak was their god. Is they used to pray.
Yeah, walk. Yeah. We just
Yeah,
heard about this
and
yesterday. Thank you, brother.
in Eritrea, it was I think it was they used to believe what in
So this is a religion they believed before Islam came,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or Christianity as
I mean, there
well,
was a
right?
lot of religion. There was like
The
different types of
animism.
religion.
The
Yeah,
animism.
yeah. Oh, what was your question? Sorry, can you repeat your question? Sorry, I think you said something. I wanna
Go ahead,
respond to
smart.
you, but
Ask it again,
smart.
smart.
Can you? Yeah.
She asked if they were Sufis, particularly.
Right.
Yeah, I think they were
What
Sufis. Yeah.
particular?
Okay, so what I was gonna say, right?
Yeah, Sunni
So
or
they were
Sufi.
Fulani,
So
Sufi.
yeah,
Yeah.
when they were Sufis, right? They are like a bit
Sunni.
peaceful, right? They were a bit peaceful, and what happened was, right? So Saudi, they take like some sheikhs from like Horn Africa, and they teach them Wahhabism, and when they come there, that's when they come extremists, and they don't want to live next to you. Actually, our government arrested some of them, and yeah, I mean you could see on the news too.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Kalala. Hopefully that answered your question, smart. All right, S. Michael, welcome to the panel, brother. Well, introduce yourself, and if you have questions for him or you want to speak on the panel.
Got you. Yeah, man, I'm S. Michael, man. I'm Black American. Yeah, I'm from Washington, D.C. originally. I bounced around quite a bit. I am also a Muslim. Specifically where I'm from.
Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Habashi. What's going down, Brody? Yo, they turning on me, bro. They turned on me yesterday and today. It was crazy. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, man. Where I'm from, particularly, we have a lot of Habashi people from Ethiopia and Eritrea. So it's a bit of a mix. Obviously, we have Orthodox, and obviously we have Muslims from both sides. Um, yeah, what he did just say did make sense. The Saudis definitely did. I guess coaxed them into like more traditional version of Islam, which is Sunni. And if you're Sunni, that means you follow the Sunnah. And the Sunnah is just another way of saying you're sticking close to the way of the Prophet as best you can. Obviously, we have different sects in Islam, but for the most part, they're all the same sect except a few. It's just different schools of thought. Like me, I'm Sunni, but my school of thought is Hanbali, and that is named after Sheikh Hanbal. But yeah, so they have a little bit of Sufis there, but it's mostly Sunnis, at least in the community where I'm from, as far as the Habashis go, that are both from Eritrea and Ethiopia. So,
So
speaking to,
mostly Sunnis, mostly Sunnis from Washington D.C. or what part of America?
yeah, Washington D.C. And also just the general Washington D.C. area. So outside of Washington D.C., there's also a concentration of Habashas, slightly to the north in Montgomery County, Maryland, and
Virginia too, I'm guessing.
slightly towards the south in Northern Virginia. There's
Uh-huh.
Habashis, but there also is some Sudanese, some Egyptians. But yeah, they're all mostly Sunni.
There are 2.5 million in the DMV, Alexandria, Virginia, like Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hey, Tyrone, let the brother Michael land. Hey, nice. I want to hear Tyrone. I want to hear from you. I have to introduce you, my brother. Sorry.
No, he's pretty accurate. Yeah, he's pretty accurate.
Okay,
But,
Tyrone. Okay. Do you, Michael? Do you want to land, or do you want me to let Tyrone in?
I kind of was trying to get to the prompt. So African Muslims and Arabism. Yeah, imagine you got the bro on the camera with the kifaya on, bro. I can only see.
I got you, Tyrone. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
I can only see that being kind of sort of true, as far as like native African populations, as far as maybe like North Sudan, and even with the Somalis, they wear jalabiya, but they're still pretty Somali with it, to be honest. And I'll land there.
Yeah, so the different garbs, we were getting this last night, like what a specific group of Muslims wear, right? What kind of, especially African Muslims, like what kind of scars do they have to exemplify?
So
Yeah,
I know
we got deep. No, hold on, S. Michael, hold on. I do want to let everybody on, S. Michael. I'll come back around so we can do an open panel. But I'm just gonna say that just because, like, I learned a lot yesterday having these panels, and I'm learning a lot today. Having you brothers up here to talk about this, and I'm learning a lot. I'm taking it all in, and I don't want to be biased in any way.
Vibe, sorry, can I? Because Michael said they were Sunni. You know what I said? Sufis. Like most Horn Africans were Sufis, right? You could see the like how
Sufis is still Sunni. Yeah, go ahead.
it is, but there's different teachings, right?
No,
you
you're
could
right.
see,
You're
like,
right.
wait.
A lot of them.
So let's say,
They're leaning more towards traditional.
All right. Kalala,
That's what
I'll
I'm
let you
saying.
land your point. S. Michael can respond to that point, and then I'm going to introduce Tyrone, okay? Go ahead.
Right, I was saying like there was more Sufi teachings. Like now you could see the in Eritrea or like Somalia and some parts of Ethiopia that they were just like they are more Arabized because I think there's like more Wahhabism right now because of the Saudi. That's what I was saying. But they are Sunnis now, yeah.
Okay, S. Michael, go ahead and respond to that, and I'm going to introduce Tyrone, and then I'm going to get back to Jay and Smart. I don't want to leave my brothers and sisters.
I'm gonna be quick. Yeah, I mean, Kalala is definitely correct. By the way, Wahhabism is actually a derogatory term that other sects call traditionalists. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, I'm good to go. I guess Tyrone can lock in.
All right, thank you. Tyrone, welcome to the panel, my brother. Salaam alaikum. Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to our
Yeah, so
lovely panelists with your
thank you,
race or
man.
your
Yes, sir.
ethnicity.
Oh
Hold
yes.
on, Tyrone.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Just sorry, brother. I do this with everyone, right? A race or ethnicity, you choose one, and then where you're from, and then lastly your religion, obviously, and then you can respond to anything you've heard, or you can speak on the prompt. The floor is yours. I'm gonna give you all the time you need. Okay?
I'm from Mali, Nigeria. So I'm mostly West African, and the topic do I identify as black? So yeah, the topic is it's a very nice topic, because we sometimes we mix between Muslim and Arab people because a lot of most Muslim are not even Arab, and I highly doubt that the people today that live in the Saudi Arabia, that live in Yemen, those countries, I don't consider them to be similar to the same people that Islam came to 400 centuries ago. I think they had a lot of expansion, so they had a lot of civilization that showed up and lived in the Middle East. You got a lot of Turkish, a lot of Kurdish people, different backgrounds. So there's been a lot of mixing. So I think if there is any original Arab today, it's not probably going to be very few. I would say in the thousands, and not that many people live. But yeah, I think Africa has a lot of, a lot of connection to the Middle East because I think it's connected to East Africa. So there's been a lot of language, a lot of historical connections, especially with the East. With West Africa, it's kind of new. It's kind of something that happened in the 7th, 8th century. But with like East Africa, it's probably 4,000 years old. The connection they had.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the language. Yeah, somebody can take a mic if you want to. Yeah.
The Malian Empire, the Moors and Granada, Al-Andalus, that came a little bit after, but those were really specific times. My whole thing is the context to this, guys, is Africans that had Islam, as a religion, did something beautiful when they had it. Not that it was given to them from the Arabs that now in present day are doing things, what they're doing to Africa and Sudan, the things that they're doing, the Arab aspect, the Middle Eastern aspect, the Dubai, those regions that treat our African brothers and sisters in the most inhumane ways, I would like to focus. I don't even like to focus. Let's take that into regard. Let's see what is the reality of it. But let's also not. So the whole context of this is Black Americans looking at Arabs and seeing what they do to the African. Look, Black Americans that actually have an affinity to Africa, because there's African Americans that love their African, that know they're African, that love their African. There are Black Americans that deny their Africanity, right? I think a lot of this is those Black Americans or those Black MAGAs or those FBAs.
Wait, I'm Black American, bro.
All right, hold on, S. Michael. Those ones that use the whole thing that is, because they're already shitting on Africa. The FBAs are already shitting on Africa, right? But they use the whole Arab thing to double down on how much Africa isn't
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly.
So listen. This is the shit that I'm dealing with, right? So I'm dealing with people that appreciate Africa as Black Americans and then others that don't. And they use the Arab excuse that's happening right now to plague all of Africa because they're plaguing all of Africa regardless. They're going to call us poor. They're going to call us everything in the book. And so being proud African, right? Being proud American in Mexico, right? Afro-Mexican, my mother, right? I can stand up to these people. I can talk my shit back, right? So I just don't want them to use Islam, even though Islam did a lot of things to us, right? I like to champion. Okay, I speak English, right, guys? I don't work for the colonists. I'm not English. I sound white, but I'm not. But this is part of a simulation. I didn't speak English when. I didn't know how to speak English until I got to high school, okay? I was in special ed. So it took a long time for me to understand English.
even talk the way I talk because I'm surrounded by people. And I don't see that as a blessing. Most of the time, most people think I'm a white person until they see me. And then I look like an Arab to them or an Indian. I don't even look. Oh, hold on. No, you can't. So Habesha people, my people always look at me and they go, Habesha? And I go, yeah, well, my Eritrean people would never. They'd be like, don't say Habesha. Don't say Ethiopian. You're Eritrean. Your name is Isaias. Your name is Isaias. I have the name of the goddamn president. And so listen. Again, I don't want to get too caught up in the politics of it. I just want to be proud to be Eritrean. I want to be proud to be Mexican. I want to be proud to be American because that's where I was born. Now, there's some people, because I'm a first generation American, that they want to take that from me. They want to call me a tether. They want to call me an immigrant. They want to call me an illegal immigrant. They want to call me an anchor baby, right? So that's where I draw the line in the sand. If you're a black MAGA, if you are a fucking sellout, a coon, a tab dancer, if you're an FBA MAGA, if you voted for this administration to do what it's doing to the immigrants right now, then you got all the smoke from me, okay? Now, I'm only talking about this conversation because of what happened a couple days ago and how people were talking about Islam. I'm not talking about the Arabs, what they did with Islam. I'm talking about what the Africans did with Islam, how we were able, even if we were conquered, we were able to turn it and make it something of our own to make our people survive. Because we all get conquered by something. We are all colonized by something. Now, how we make it out is a different story. Did we fight and did we rebel, or did we just take it? Now, the way I speak today, my first language is Spanish. Am I Spanish? No, I'm not from Spain. Am I Hispanic Latino? No, my mother's from Mexico. Is Mexico colonized? Yes, Mexico was colonized by the Spanish. Now, America. Who colonized America? The English, right? The British, right? So I speak English because of that. So again, look at all the layers, guys. Look at how multifaceted this is. Okay. Now, who do I decide to pick a side to? I appreciate every part of me. I love my mom and I love my father and I love myself. So who's going to take that away from me? I dare you to tell me that I'm not something that I am, and I don't have to be Mexican. I didn't have to be born in Mexico to have love for Mexico. I didn't have to be born in Eritrea to have love for my father and my Eritrean family. So this is what we're working with, guys. And you're dealing with this situation from my point of view, not yours. Okay. So I want you guys to take that into regard. And I'm here for answers. I'm just here to hear everybody out, just like everybody else wants to be heard out. All right. So with that, let's go. I haven't checked in with Jay. I haven't checked in with Smart. I see that the brother just came in here on the bottom. I can't see his name. Is it Tyrone? Yeah. Oh no, it's not Tyrone. It's the other brother. What's his name? Lusanga. I got you, Lusanga.
But you can call me.
I got you, Lusanga. Okay, brother. Thank you for being patient, brother. I'm gonna check in back with my mods, Jay and Smart. Jay, do you hear me?
Yeah. So,
do you want to ask anybody a question, or do you want to respond
yeah, I have
to
a
anything?
question.
And then I'll let Smart go after.
I have a question for Kalala. Because he mentioned the host vibes. He mentioned Habesha and then Tigreña. And remember, we were talking about the difference. There's different ethnic groups on both sides of the border between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Are there also Habesha people in Eritrea?
Okay, so this term Habesha is the outsiders that gave us. I don't even know what's the meaning of that, because the people in diaspora use it so much, and they become our name. I mean, like if you go to Arabs, they call us Habesh, right?
Yeah.
But in Eritrea, we call ourselves Tigrinya, Amhara, like whatever your tribe is. But yeah, I mean, there is Habesha. The majority in Eritrea are Habesha.
Got it. So you're
Yeah,
saying that it's the same? Is it like another name for Tigreña
it's not a name, bro. It's
or
just
label or whatever you want to call it?
just like
Brother, let me explain it. Let me
the
explain it
Arabs
real
call
quick.
that when they see
It
like
was a
some black
region,
person,
remember?
something like that.
So
No,
let me
Like
Tigre is
explain
the
it because
region, but
so,
yeah.
I
some
think
people
Hold on,
say
you're
hold
not
on,
getting
hold
it.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, brother. I'm gonna introduce you. Like I said, let Jay finish answering his questions, and I'm gonna get down to everybody.
All right.
yeah, okay. So the Habesha is like some people say it's a slur, some people say it's just a name. You know what I'm saying? But as far as I know, our grandparents they call themselves Tigrinya,
Hmm.
whatever their tribe is. Like we identify by tribes. Like there's Amhari. So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
W
All right,
Tribe.
thank you for that.
All
Thank
right.
you for that.
Thank you.
Smart, go ahead. Smart, go ahead, and I'm gonna introduce
Yeah, I was just gonna say I love
the
that
brother
because
there.
two of my best friends, Salim and Yodit, are Ethiopian, so that's why I knew a little bit about some of this stuff. But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Keep going.
All right, thank you, sister. All right, let's go ahead and introduce the new guests. I forgot you said Lou. Can I call you Lou?
You can call me
Lusanga.
Lusanga, but you
Lu-
can call me Big Bro.
All right, big bro. Welcome to the panel, big bro. Can you introduce yourself to everybody and whatever you want to chime in on, you may.
Yeah. I'm an African, 21. I'm from the line of Africa. Yeah. African Muslim and Arabism in Africa. Yeah. So, guys, we need to get that out of Africa, okay? The thing is, they're not indigenous to the continent, okay? We have a lot of beautiful cultures, beautiful people on the continent. And they all have their own indigenous languages, their own indigenous cultures. But then they let the Arabs come in and breed with them, ethnically cleanse them. That's what's happening. It's an ethnic cleansing, okay? Once you get enough people to be Arabized, you basically already worked on eliminating them from, the continent. Now you have a lot of confused people that speak Arabic. They speak Arabic, guys. Arabic is not indigenous to Africa. And they think they're Arab, man. It's disgusting. I mean, what do you mean I'm going to come talk to a person and he's just as black as me and he's going to say, no, me no black, me Arab? Like, that's nonsense. Like, they think they're superior. I don't know. It's some mental illness, but there's nothing wrong with Arab. Well, me personally, I'm not going to say too much about the Arabs. But listen, they need to get out of our country, okay? Out of our continent. They don't belong there at all, okay? So,
Are you talking about the present Arabs that are now doing all the things? Or are you talking about the language and the culture of Islam?
no, I'm not talking about Islam at all, because you got to realize a lot of people are Muslim on the continent, right? So they have to speak Arabic for like the Quran and all that. And that's not what
Yeah,
I have a
but
problem for.
okay.
I have a problem with the culture. I mean, they're not Arab. You guys are not Arab, okay? You're letting a group of fucking camel
So
fucking.
right. No, okay, brother. So again, so I'm with you on this because I feel what you're saying because so the people that are the Arab culture right now isn't Islam. There is an African part of Islam that speak Arabic
Yeah,
in their
but it
own.
has
They
nothing
don't
to do.
speak Arabic. Sorry. There's
It has nothing to do
just like
with
we're speaking
religion,
English right
man.
now, right? There's an influence, right? But it's not. It's like
That's
they
like
still
me
made
saying
it their own, right?
So, brother, that's like me saying
That's
that
like you saying what?
That's like me saying Christianity is part of the problem when I'm not talking about Christianity. You know what I mean? Or
Okay, so
Well,
Islam.
it's
I
the
just want
same
brother.
thing.
No, it's
No,
not the same
hold
thing.
on, smart. No. It's not. So I hear what he's saying though. I hear what he's saying because he's not saying that Christianity is the problem. He's saying the Europeans that are ruling under Christianity with the Crusades, the Inquisition,
Exactly.
those are
Stop
the
it.
problem, right? Because 4th century AD Christianity came from Ethiopia, and we had
Exactly.
our own
ISIS.
concept of of Christianity. Is that what you're saying, brother?
Christianity, we know was in northern Africa by the 1st century, actually.
By way of the
Yes,
Greeks.
exactly. So Christianity was,
Wow.
and you can
I haven't heard
even,
about that.
yeah. So yeah, you can even early Yahweh worship. It was always in Africa. It's been there for
But the
thousands of
one they
years.
taught us over here is different.
No, well,
Right.
yeah,
Haile
because you guys.
Selassie.
That's all I'm saying.
So okay, because
Anytime
you
white
guys
folks get a
worship,
hold of
you
it, it's
guys
messed
worship,
up.
you guys don't worship Jesus. You guys worship
We're
America.
not Jamaicans. No, we're not Jamaicans. We don't worship Haile Selassie, but we
No,
are
no.
from that
I'm
region.
saying you guys worship America. You guys don't worship Jesus, man.
So again, we don't believe in Jesus. We don't believe in white, blue-eyed Jesus, Yahweh, or the Most High, right? I think it just depends what denomination of Christianity you
Thank
believe
you,
in,
and
right?
it's 1,000 of them.
No.
So
Yeah.
so you can't generalize.
All Americans worship Jesus in the country.
Okay, so
No.
again, you're
I mean,
wrong.
all Americans worship
wrong, brother.
America. That's the thing. If you look at like,
So what is okay? So what is America? So what does America worship?
America worships themselves.
Okay, so we worship
Come
ourselves
on
as
now.
individual Americans.
Yeah, I mean that's what. Listen, so the thing is,
Okay,
when you
so
guys created America, you guys,
no, we
America does not care about feeding the poor. They don't care about. They just don't care about anything.
But
of
they
real
claim to be
whatsoever.
Christian. The Triple K's burn crosses. Let's be real.
we're
I
we're
mean, if
not
that's
those
the
Christians.
case, no, the people are not living the tenets of the true religion of that they
Yeah, you
claim.
can't
Listen,
confuse Black America. I mean, you can confuse some because there's a lot of people that fall into these denominations, right, brother? What America stands for in Africa is different than what Americans in America stand for
Right.
within America.
no. I live in America. I've seen the way you Americans act. You guys do not
Okay.
worship the God of the Bible. That's the
Okay,
sad
so
Who are
who's
you
your
talking about?
okay, hold on, Smart, I got this. Who's your God, brother?
Elohim.
Exactly. Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Elohim, brother.
Here we
So that's
go.
your God. Okay, so that's your God, brother. No one's stepping toes and telling you that you shouldn't believe in that. And
Right.
I'm
The
not
same God I worship.
I'm not doing what you're doing to us Americans, right? You're an American, so what's the religion of Elohim in America, brother?
It's the one that you're supposed to be worshiping.
So
but
what's
you
the
guys
religion?
don't
What's the
worship.
religion called, my brother?
Christianity.
Okay, so what denomination is that? Elohim denomination of Christianity?
The Catholics worship
Elohim.
him. The Methodists worship him. The
Nah.
Lutherans worship
Which one
him.
do
But
you
they don't call
belong
him
to?
that.
Which one do you have membership with, brother?
I was baptized as a Methodist, but I don't follow a denomination anymore.
Right. So you're non-denominational, but you're Christian.
Ding, ding,
Is that
ding.
what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's that's the point. See, that's why sometimes I just can't do it with all of the
Do it.
religions that I've studied. And when you look at it, you know
I'm
what I mean?
sorry.
People want to get off in their own feelings.
America more than you. Listen, you guys.
No, you're in America talking about we worship. You're an American talking about
That's
we
why I
worship
can talk
America.
about it because
No. You can't speak on all. You can't speak on all
You
people here in
cannot.
America.
I'm out. I listen. I go to church.
You can assume all you want, my brother.
So the thing is, whenever I go to church, these churches are asking for money.
You just talking
Hold on.
about
Can you let me
certain
finish? Can you let me?
churches. There
Can
are
you let me finish,
Nah,
man?
bro.
We're not
I'm
even
gonna
having
give
this.
him I'm gonna give him a minute to land because
Oh
you've been
my
talking
God.
for quite some time. I'm gonna give you a minute to land. And I'm gonna have to get to everybody else, brother.
Yeah. So whenever I go to church, they don't care about the community. Republicans, Democrats, they don't care about feeding the children in America. They don't care about education. They don't care about any of that. And yet you guys claim you're Christians. You guys are the farthest things away from Christians, quite frankly. But that's a discussion for another day. My point is, I don't know why you even got into religion. My point is, Arabs do not belong in Africa. That's the sad reality of the situation, man. And their culture, to get that out of Africa, out of North Africa, we need to start doing it by first annexing those northern countries. and then the people of them, and then keep Africans for Africans. If you think you're Arab, get the fuck out of Africa. It's pretty simple, actually. So
All right, thank you, brother. And I don't mean to cut you off, bro. It's just like I have a method to my madness, you know. And I agree with you about we already got down to the point. We got down to the point about the Arabs in Africa, and I can agree with you on that, right? But like you as an American, you can't speak down on another Americans for believing in a different denomination or a different form of the thing that you claim to look down on other people for, you know. But and that's just an assumption, my brother. That's not the truth, you know. But that's the way I heard it. So with that, let me start over because I mean, who didn't I give a chance to speak to? I think we're gonna start from the top. You know, Jay, do you have anything to ask anybody or anything to respond to? I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I'm going to introduce Jay. Go ahead, Jay. Salaam alaikum, Jay. Come on up. Introduce yourself. Thank you, Jay. Introduce yourself, Jay Money, and then you already know if you want to respond to what you heard or you got 3 minutes. Go ahead, brother.
I just got on here and I heard a brother. He was talking about the Arabs. I believe that brother is the Christian brother. Is his name Lusanga? Is that him?
you call me Big Bill.
Is that him? Hey, your vibes.
Yeah, yeah, that's him, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree with him on what he said about the Arabs. But I heard him disrespecting, Islam. Brother, there's a difference between Islam and Arabs.
Wait. I didn't disrespect Islam. What did I say about Islam that I disrespected them? If you're gonna put words in
All
my
I was gonna say, I heard you saying something bad about Islam.
What did I say? What did you hear me say?
Well, you were talking about the Muslims and stuff like that, and I'm like,
I was
bro,
never talking about the
Yo,
Muslims.
Lasanga, let him land his point.
Wait, but he's not gonna.
I hear you.
come here and
I'll
tell
check
me a
him. I'll
lie.
check him. Don't worry.
no,
I will make it. I heard what you said. You
all I'm
know.
gonna say is there are black Christians, but in the continent of Africa, there are a lot more black Muslims. Um, and majority of Africans are Muslims, from the east to the west to the central to the north.
Again, Jay Money, can you introduce yourself to everybody
Yeah,
so everybody knows your stance and where you
Yeah,
come
and
from?
don't put words in my mouth.
I
Lil
got
bro.
you. I got you.
I
I
must
got
I
you.
must have misunderstood, but I was just
Yeah, you misunderstood. All right.
yeah, but for a Christian, I'm like, what is wrong with the brother, man? He's a Christian. He's talking bad about Muslims, but my misunderstanding, brother.
Talking back about Muslims, bro. Get that out of your head, man.
No, man, it's okay, man. It's okay. Anyways, I agree with you on the Arab part. And let me introduce myself. I am
Stay
Somalian.
muted, Laganza. I'll drop you. I swear to God. Don't
I
think we.
I am
I'll
Somalian.
do it. Let him keep it up.
We got our mods. Laganza, please just respect. Let him say his thing. You can respond to him, right,
Yeah,
Lazanga? We let you talk.
And
Now
I
we're gonna
just
let
want
other people
I
talk.
just want to speak in general. So let me just finish, guys. I'm Somalian. I'm Cushitic. I come from the Horn of Africa. And we're Muslims. We don't play about our belief. And the other thing I would say is, most Africans are Muslim, and so there's a difference between Arabs and Muslims. And don't if you pick a battle with the Muslims, you're facing the whole continent, and so you don't want to do that, man. That's the last thing you want to do. And so I respect. I
All right.
respect.
Hey,
I
hey,
respect.
hold on,
Let
brother.
me
Stay muted, brother. Please.
Respond.
let
I
me
know,
just
you can't respond. You can't respond, brother.
let me just finish though. Let me
I
just
know. Let
finish.
him. Okay, you
Let me
got
just
less
finish.
than a
And
minute, Jay Money. Your time's up.
I didn't say anything about
I know you didn't. I know he's
I didn't
he's
say
taking
anything
everything
bad.
a little too personal. I get it.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
say anything bad about Christians. I respect my Christian brothers. Ethiopia is right next door. We have Orthodox Christians there, and I have deep respect. And Eritrea also Orthodox Christians, but we shouldn't be disrespecting each other. We have a lot more in common, and that's all I was gonna say, man. And that's where I land.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No. Hold on. Hey, Shukran, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And here, I'm just gonna go. I don't know how to do this without people interrupting. Right? I have a way I do the things on my panel, brother. I let you speak. You spoke for a while,
Can I
and I
respond
will
real quick?
let you respond. I will let you respond, brother. But just please
Brother, I didn't even say anything to you.
have some patience with me. Have some
Yes, you
patience.
did. You dirty Somali, man.
Okay, hold on, brother. My mods are going into work. My mods are so, and he's gone. You see, you can't even ask him any questions anymore. He's gone. You got your approach. Your approach is the most important thing. You know, your what do they call that? They call it the your first impression, right? So, brother, when we want to ask questions, we want to be meticulous about this, right? And there's a way of doing it, right? If you are from any culture that that understands conversations, you know, you would respect this, you know. And I appreciate you for being patient. So with that, we got a new panelists. Afonso, can you please introduce? Assalamu alaikum. Can you please introduce yourself?
Walaikum
And
salam. I am African Muslim. Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm African Muslim, and it's an interesting topic. You said African Muslims and Arabism. If you look at like history, all when Islam is spreading, has some of the best of Africa's history has came out of Islam. Songhai Empire, Mali, Adal, all of this, even the richest African man, Mansa Musa, came out of Islam. So Islam gave Africa it created empires and allowed people to actually govern their own empire. So if you look at all of the kings of these empires, they were all African. Considering like the Europeans, where they just governed, they put their own ministers, they put their own people in charge. No, the Africans were running their own empire. And if you look as people as Horners, we have very close to Islam. You know, even when the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's companions were being exiled from Mecca, he told them to go to Abyssinia. You know, they came to Nagashi. Nagashi allowed them in. So we are very.
The call to prayer, Bilal.
Yeah, Bilal was Oromo. You know, Bilal al-Roba. His father's original name was Roba, but he's from Abyssinia. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Do you have a do you want to I want to give you a chance because we didn't give you a chance. Thank you for introducing yourself, and again, welcome to the panel. Now, do you want to address anything specifically, or do you want to just talk generally about the prompt, brother?
You mean like you got the Eritrean flag there? You know, the first mosque in the Horn of Africa was built in Massawa in the 7th century. A lot of like Horner example, like some Somalis, Afar, Oromo, they became Muslim during the 7th century, like during when the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was still alive. So we have been Muslim for a very long time, and we have some of the we spread Islam, our ancestors, you know. So it is very close to us. Second one was built in Zayla in Ethiopia. So.
Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. So again, I'm gonna have an open panel. I want you guys to be respectful to one another. All right. I want you guys to have conversations fluidly, I should say, and to not let's not get to the back and forth. I got my mods. I got Smash and I got Jay on here. They will mute you. Don't feel that you were muted because they don't like you. It's just because we want the conversation to flow fluidly. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and ask some other questions. Okay. So open panel for 5 minutes.
What's going on? I don't think Lusana did anything wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, it's your average Somali, man. They're disgusting people, but
Whoa.
smart sister. Where are you from?
How you want to know?
I'm just
I live in California. I'm from Chicago.
You're FBA.
Hey,
No,
Luzanga.
hell no.
Hey,
I'm not.
Luzanga. Wait,
No, we
Luzanga.
anti FBA. We
Wrong
anti
answer.
FBA here, all around,
Hey,
all around.
hey, Luzanga, did you hear
Fear of
Alfonso
being African,
confirming
that's
he's
not
from
me.
Abyssinia? It's crazy. Alfonso said he's from Abyssinia, bro. It's mad.
No, I'm not from Abyssinia. I said Bilal Al-Roba.
So how was he
Bilal
Oromo
Al-Roba.
then?
No, so his last name, he was sort of the slave, if you know the history. His last name was Roba.
So he's Oromo. He was from
Yeah, he's from
Abyssinia.
Oromo descent, I believe.
This is known
The,
that
yeah,
So you are
the first one
Abyssinian
to do
then.
the Adhan.
So
yeah.
Oromo was Abyssinia.
He came out of that region.
This
We
So where
were
you
Sudan,
from?
man.
What
guy, bro.
set you from, Lou whoever,
Us
Lusanga?
Hey,
Californians are
listen, you're not
gangsters
gonna
right
disrespect me here, smart sister. Okay?
Huh?
If you
now. Nah.
No,
can't say
I
my
asked
name,
you where
Hey,
you
asking
from.
you where
How am
you
I
from, it doesn't.
disrespecting you?
that,
Yeah,
say
exactly.
my name right. Say my name right, okay? Or don't say
Hey,
it at all.
Lusanga? I don't know.
Linguini.
Is that how you say it?
Yo, Linguini, relax, relax.
Who said linguini, man? Who said linguini?
I said Linguini. All right. Yeah, you mad about people mispronouncing your name?
So, Vibes, where are you
Is that
from?
what I heard? Is that what I heard?
Vibes, where are you from?
I'm
Where were you, bro? He told everyone.
hey, hold on. Hey, Linguini, lasagna. Listen to me.
Oh, you
I'm
laughing
from.
too? You think it's funny?
I'm
Huh?
I'm from America,
You so sensitive.
I'm from America. Hold on, Mark. I'm from America, the part that you know that we have no control over what we do. We're all colonized here in America, right?
Correct.
So you guys are colonized people.
I mean, you want me to double down on that?
Hey, at least it didn't come out of my mouth, man.
All right. So you
Whatever.
insinuated something. Hold on, Smart.
Yeah, that's
You
all he
insinuated
doing.
you insinuated something, brother. So I'm just doubling down on it, right? You want to get disrespectful? We can get disrespectful. But that's not what I'm up here for. I told you what I'm up here for to do.
How did I get disrespectful with you, man?
Well, because you asked Smart where's she from, and then she asked you where you're from, and you didn't, and then you were like,
Then you got an attitude.
I can't ask her where she's from.
Nah,
You
she
did.
told you.
I answered, and then I
Yeah.
asked you where you were
You
from.
never
And
asked
then
me
you
where I'm
got
from.
butthurt.
I didn't.
And
I
then you got
did.
butthurt.
I got butthurt because she said my name wrong. So don't put words.
Okay,
Lusanga, you
so
from
get
the
over
Congo,
it. Get over it, bro.
Exactly, I'm from the Congo.
Let's apologize.
No, I'm not gonna
Hey,
do
Smart, can you apologize to this sensitive ass lasagna?
Yes. Oh, I am
apologize.
so very sorry. I thought I said Lusanga. I thought I pronounced it properly, but please forgive me if I didn't.
Thank you for your apology, but I don't forgive you, dickhead.
Yeah,
Wait, you're not from the Congo, bro?
No, I'm from the Congo. I'm from the Congo.
Yeah, I know you were, bro. Lusanga is very Congolese.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna end this, right? Because like we don't want anybody up here talking shit, right? Are you gonna be with us or?
Let me talk about the prompt.
It's not your turn, you see.
Oh, okay.
So again, it's an open panel, but I don't want anybody to just take up the whole panel. So let me go ahead and not be rude. Let me give Lasanga a chance to answer this prompt fresh and clean. Okay, let's start over. All right, let's act like we didn't try to bang on each other. All right, let's try to do that. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I said before. Arabs just don't belong in Africa. If you don't claim you're African, then you don't belong in Africa. It's very simple. You know, we don't need people looking down at other Africans. A lot of North African countries do this. I think it's like I think it's an identity crisis. They don't know whether they're Arab because, like, you got to understand they could go to Saudi Arabia or any Arab countries. So they're going to be looked down upon. And then they go to Africa and they think they're superior. So
All right, you don't have to sigh that hard. All right, I got you, bro. So again, once again, we agree with the Arabism, the Middle East now, the present day light-skinned Arabs that look down on African people. We're totally against that, you know. And just because you speak Arabic or just because you practice Islam doesn't mean that you fall into that. The people that are now present day ruling over Islam, we're not giving them that much power, you know, especially in Africa, you know, even though they do come and they do take advantage of the people, the resources and everything that comes with Africa, right? Just like the colonizers are doing in Europe, right? Just like America has its filthy little hands in America, right? So we understand that, Lusanga, okay? So with that, let's go ahead. Open panel. I'm going to leave it open panel, okay? Because I feel like I didn't give everybody a chance to speak. Just be respectful, guys. Let's not get disrespectful. If you have a question for someone, just be genuine about it. Don't and if you get asked a question, don't be defensive about it either, right? Let's find some middle ground.
Yo, Vibes, I got a question, man.
I got an answer. What's good?
Boom. So there seems to be a little bit of misconception regarding the North. It's my understanding that there are still Black indigenous, even though they're in the minority, all over the North. But what do we consider those people they call Amazigs? Are they? What do you consider them?
The Berbers, the North Africans, you know. In America, any immigrant that immigrates from North Africa to America are classified as YT people, okay? Whether you have dark skin or not. Now, this is part of the American system that classifies people as this, the Federal Directive 15, right? Now, is that the same way that African people see North Africans and Amazigh or Berber people? You know, I don't know, right? That's a different story. I'm only talking about the people that immigrate to America, how they're seen. So you can see how different the way we classify race and ethnicity here in America, we're really hyper focused on race. You know, race isn't a big deal in Africa. People don't say they're Black. People come through with their traditions, either their religion, their nationality, their heritage, their tribe. Okay. So it's a difference. There's a difference, you know? And so I don't want to get too mixed up with about how America deals with it and how Africans deal with it, because it's a different thing. And it's to be disingenuous to act like it's not different, you know? Now, we conflate
more on like the African side, I guess you could say.
So again, brother, I'm not African, but I know I'm learning a lot, you know, every day about
ancestry though, bro.
Of course, but I don't know African politics, right? So I can't be the one. I can't be the one to educate this brother, because I would be out of line to educate this brother about something I don't have anything to do with.
Nah, I got you.
Other than ancestry, other than my father, right? So here, let me learn, but also let me be humble enough to tell you that I can't give you those answers. That's why I'm here having this panel discussion and learning from the people that are willing to teach me. And not a negative way, but in a positive way.
So, Michael, what did you need answered, bro?
Gotcha. So, I was asking, like, so what do people? Because regarding the North, I noticed a lot of people just throw it around, like, oh, it's Arabs up there. But when I talk to people from that region, at the mosque, I say, hey, where are you from? They say, hey, I'm from Morocco. I'm from Tunisia, Libya. And, you know, I get different answers depending on, you know, who it is I'm talking to, I guess, you know. So
the thing about them is a lot of them have really old ancient admixture. Technically, they have been around in that area for a good amount of time. But, you know, and in those countries, too, you got to realize that they're really close to Europe, you know. You got the Mediterranean Sea over there. You can cross, so, you know. They've always had a lot of interactions with, you know, other groups of people that are not African, especially the Arabs, Indo-Europeans. Yeah, it depends on who you ask. There are groups over there that are indigenous and just have a lot of admixture, but for the
So they're
most part,
basically like the Puerto Ricans of Africa, basically.
basically, exactly. But
Nah, nah, come on, man.
Look at their DNA. They're like pretty much mixed Africans, mixed European, and then they've got Arabian, Middle Eastern DNA in them as well.
So they're tri-ethnic then.
Yeah, correct. Because they had a lot of invasions from
You know,
Spain,
like
French.
I've seen like Somali Muslims and gotta go there and get discriminated, bro. Like
yeah, but that's where
them
the
ones are
problem
crazy,
is.
bro. Like
They
them
think that
ones are
they're
worse
better
than the
than the
Arabs.
sub-Saharan. Yeah,
Like
that's where the
let's
problem
like
is.
take Libya for example, right? You know Libya, right? Saint Michael, S. Michael.
Yeah, I know Libya.
You know Libya, right? The like Libyans are like
I met a black guy from Libya before.
yeah, there's like minority that like probably 2-3% in Libya, but even Libyans they say they're not Arabs, but bro, they are Arabs, man. Yeah, and the problem is with the Arab is they have got big influence, right? And even the same people as you, they will claim Arab. That's the problem. Like
A lot of them, they fought against the Arabs, like the Kingdom of
Yeah, that's
Marrakesh.
who
Morocco, they fought against the Ottomans and the Spanish
Ottomans are
invasion.
not Arabs.
Yeah, but they were spread of Islam mainly.
Yeah, but I think they fought them because of the religion. But
I'm
I
not gonna
don't think
lie.
so. It's the Amazigh that fought them. I think it's the Berbers.
I think the
So
Amazigh are Berbers actually.
no, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they are not.
It just mean barbarian. And
Yeah.
the Amazigh is it's like saying Cushitic. They've got many
Amazigh,
languages in Amazigh.
Amazigh is like
The Tamazigh, they've got like the
no, but
Fulbe.
the Berbers are black, bro. Come on.
No.
Yeah, everyone knows that, man. Like
I don't
Luzanga,
know.
you know
Somebody
the
said that Berber is a derogatory term for the Amazigh.
no. You see there's Berbers that's dark skin, and there's the Amazigh. I don't want to say, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, Luzanga, you know Berbers, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Berbers? Yeah, they're like very
Yeah,
dark
I've
skin.
seen.
They, you know, they live in Morocco. You don't see them a lot, but they're in Morocco.
Is there a lot of them in Morocco though?
Yeah,
We
it's
can't.
not really a lot, but
So were the Berbers Amazigh, were they whitewashed? Like obviously now they look different than the indigenous people that
What do you
were.
mean by whitewash?
no Berbers.
So
There's
did they
dark
look
Berbers.
ethnically? Did they look different from the original Amazigh, the original Berbers?
Oh,
The original are the Berbers.
Right. So how did those people look like compared to what now the Berbers look like?
Oh, the Berbers are still alive, so they pretty much look dark.
No,
I'm not gonna
obviously
lie.
they're still
The people who
alive, brother. That's not the question I'm asking. Listen to my question. Okay, so let's look. How can I put this? So the South Africans, right? they were black before they turned into the South Afrikaners, right? The people that now are known as South Africans were not always the original
South
South
Africa have like different tribes.
So that's what
something
I'm comparing to the Berbers and the
Okay,
Amazigh
as
in North
Michael,
Africa.
I'll explain
Stop
something to you, yeah? Because the original people who took over control of the Kingdom of Marrakesh, like the Almoravids in the 7th century, these are
Right.
the people that went to go and conquest Iberia, which is known as Spain.
Correct.
But
Yeah, so the Almoravids
during,
were they more? What did those people look like?
their ethnic group is debated, but a lot of people say they were black. A lot of
Were
pictures depict them
African?
as being black.
Not
Yeah,
not
a
Black
lot of them.
Americans, right? Not FBAs,
No,
right?
like black African.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
They came from where?
But the thing is, during like Queen Isabella, during the 14th, 15th century, during the Spanish Inquisition, a lot of people that came back into Africa could have just been Ashkenazi Jews. They could be other just
Small hat
Spanish people.
people, please. TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
Yeah.
I know what happened. Look, guys, we all understand what happened to black people in America, right? Who are the black Americans now? Who knows, right? It could be a biracial, right? It could be they don't represent monoracial people. They do the one drop rule here in America. One drop rule. You guys know what that is?
This is like saying the Arab Sudanese are like the original one.
It's no.
Well,
Here's the
there's a
this is
Nubian.
the best example. This is the best example I can give you. The Egyptians are whitey people now. They're not. They're not.
No, they
So
were Nubian.
listen,
You know that. You know that.
listen. I know what they were, but now that in
Yeah.
Hollywood there are whitey people in Egypt.
Right.
Cleopatra.
And they're considered white in this country.
That's
As
what
he
I'm
said,
talking
Arab
about.
people
Let's not beat
are
around the bush.
considered white
Yeah,
in the United States.
because the Nubians are not minority, but they're still there. You can see them.
Just
Nubians
I
are
just
there.
the
googled. I
Egyptians,
just googled
that
if
are there. Okay, the Egyptians that are there now in Egypt are they African or are they Arab?
The dark
the
ones
ones in
are
the
African.
south are still black. The ones in the south.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, in the south. Okay, so the
But
ones in
yes, it's majority Arab now.
okay, thank you. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
So same
Ain't
thing.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, exactly, sister. So
Cleopatra.
again, they want to. Okay, so listen, guys. I'm only asking a specific question. You guys act like I'm asking a bunch of different questions. I'm asking, what are the makeup of the people? What is the makeup of the demographic now compared to the original aspect of those people?
Correct.
So when we talk about the Berbers and the Amazigh, if we're talking about the Egyptians then and now, right? If we're talking about whatever, you guys understand what I'm talking about now, right?
But that's actually the same then. Like Morocco and
You're talking
Egypt
about
are
the people with the highest like African DNA. It would be Morocco, Tunisia, and Mauritania. Like as far as Algeria, it's very close to none.
Especially Mauritania. But anyways, guys, I just googled if Amazigh and Berber were the same, and it said yes, they are the same.
Yo, see big. We haven't
Can you
introduced
drop
you,
this guy?
brother.
Is
No,
it
wait,
drunk
hold on.
alcoholic? It's following around. Is a drunk alcoholic guy? Drop him. Drop him. No, it's not normal.
See big. You're not waving. I'm gonna take Alfonso's word on that one. I've been drinking
Yeah, I just
too,
googled it though.
I can tell. All right. So, anyways, here. Okay, tell us your results, Michael. You guys are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just googled if Berbers and Amazigh were the same. Google said yes, they are synonymous terms with each other.
So that wasn't my question though, Michael. I know they're one
No, I
of the
was
same.
asking that guy before he got up out of here.
All right. So here I'm gonna check in with my American brothers and sisters. since we're outnumbered, right? Jay, do you have anything to say before I let Smart? Jay, please, if you have anything to ask our brothers, our
I don't know though. I was gonna
honorable
ask
brother.
I was gonna ask the Tigreña guy, but he left. So
Well, ask these brothers. Maybe they have an answer too, Jay. Don't give up on the brothers.
they're not from Eritrea.
Black American.
He's Black American, so he doesn't know any more than I do about it.
I wouldn't say that.
Alfonso. Yeah. Well, they would have more answers.
No, I had
than
a
we
question
would.
specific to Eritrea, but unless they left.
Here, I'm Eritrean. I'm Eritrean, right there. So just ask me and see if they want to.
You weren't born in Eritrea, bro. But no, I wanted to know. I was because we were talking about earlier the Habesha term. He was saying that it was a foreign term that was imposed upon the people there. But I was trying to figure out what was it. Was it just a foreign label for the Tigreña people, or was it something? Did it refer to somebody else? That's what I was trying to figure out.
From what I know, for people who speak Tigrinya and Amharic, initially it was from outsiders, particularly from the Arabian Peninsula. And Arabic, how do you refer to people from Ethiopia and Eritrea collectively? You call them Habashi. So they just took the term and stuck with it, and it became synonymous with people from the Horn. Minus.
I think the term Habesha, there's two people that have two derivation term. The term Habesha in Arabic, it can be mixed people. At the same time, there's a clan in Yemen, southern parts of Yemen, they're called Habeshat.
Mm-hmm.
So it is perceived that there's Aksumites ruled that part of the kingdom. It's written in the Quran when they tried to attack Mecca, the Aksumites. So we believe that these people are actually mixed with Sabian, they're mixed with Habeshat. They're ones with J1 haplogroup. You can find them located in the region of Abyssinia.
hmm
That's
So you're
who
saying
we
those
call
people derive from the Habesha group from Yemen? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
They're the same
Okay,
group, to be honest, because even those
got
ones,
it.
they're just leftovers from. Because you
But
gotta
what language
remember,
do they speak though?
So check. So let me
They're Albanian.
let me say this with my most ignorant perspective, right? So Amuxum, right? Amuxum or Amuxum,
Aksum.
Aksum.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're more fluent than me. Stop it, Jay.
Well, no, that's
Listen.
how you pronounce it. That I know that at least. I mean,
No. How dare you correct
the
an
kingdom of
Eritrean, half
Aksum. That's what I
Eritrean,
done.
no Eritrean. You're more Eritrean than me. That's what you're telling me. So regardless, I
Bro.
love you, Jay.
Mm.
So
Tú
what I
naciste
think
aquí.
about it is okay, claro que sí, and I'm proud of it. But here, let me tell you about my people. Don't be telling me about my people, Jay.
Tu gente.
Let me check
Tu
you.
gente.
Let me be black and Neguala all
Tú
at the
eres
same time.
mexicano.
No, I'm
Tú
joking.
eres mexicano,
Yo
man.
soy mexicano, yo hablo español, and estoy orgulloso de hablar español.
Sí,
Y tú
sabemos.
tratas de ser español, you're never going to be more Mexican than me or Spanish than me. You can't speak the language like me as much
Yo
as
sé.
Cabrón.
Yo
I'm
sé.
joking. No. I
verdad.
love your Spanish. You keep working on it. I'm going to help you.
Es
Regardless of
verdad.
that. What I've heard, right, Jay? What I've heard is that Aksum, or here, I might have mispronounced it, all right, because you're more Christian than me. But here, that kingdom was a big kingdom before Eritrea and Ethiopia were nation states in Africa, you know. And so before colonization, before all that, there was an indigenous, you know, and they stretched their empire, you know. It was a little like in Sudan, a little in Ethiopia, like a lot in Ethiopia, like not, it's like the northern part of Ethiopia, right? Djibouti, like this thing crossed even into the middle sea, Yemen, like it was a big part like during that time. And then not even what they conquered, it's like their trading routes. Their trading routes was bigger than their actual like their territory. Like the thing that they were able to influence is because they had so much market trading they had the port, you know what I mean? So this is the same port that all people are trying to come in and take advantage of that port, you know. So long story short, what I was trying to say is the ancient thing is a lot more now. It makes more sense to me about how people come to try to take advantage of these resources, just like they do in Africa every day, right?
Right.
All types of different powers try to come in, and Burkina Faso, right? He's like, fuck that, you French leave, I got these gold mines,
Right.
you know. He's making
It's
billions of dollars
our
now.
shit.
They yeah. Long story
As it
short,
should
man,
be. You
as
know,
it
my
should be.
thing is, let's just all go back. If we go all the way back before all these blue-eyed devils and all the rest of them, you know, like I said, I practice Ubuntu. I am because we are. If we go back to us before all of the religions, before all the stuff, like you said, then it makes sense. You can see it's always follow the money and connect the dots. It's the same thing everywhere. I swear. When you
Vibes, you
look
are
at
right
it,
though.
huh?
No, I was saying you're right, but also Vibes, you are definitely correct. The kingdom did stretch to southern Yemen,
Right.
so that's why I was
Before
saying the
white folks
Habashat.
put a borderline on it.
That's why I was saying the Habashat that he was referring to that's in Yemen. They're just the remnants that got left behind.
But what language do they speak? The ones that he said had the J1 haplogroup that they were in Ethiopia.
It's
Don't
unclear.
they
So
speak
originally,
Turgania too?
you gotta remember these are just Cushitic people. They're Agou people. The Aksumites were Cushitic. They're Agou. They spoke Angui, but they adopted an old Sabian language. They adopted Giz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giz is the old church language, right?
Yeah.
That's the principality. That's the law, pretty much. Tyrone, don't be that better be your brother. That better be
what's going
that
on
better
with
be your
Tyrone,
profile
bro?
picture. I swear to God, that better be your profile picture.
Nah, it's
What's
not.
going
Who's
on, my
that?
brother? My Somalian
Oh
brother.
man.
What's going on?
Oh, is this Tyrone? Is this my Tyrone? Oh, brother, don't do this. You know I'm African. You know. Yo, we can go. Hey, can you take that picture down? Can we start over, Hermit the
Take the Somali picture down, bro.
Brock, take that. We're not Somali here. Just take it down, or I'm gonna drop you. You already know.
How about
Oh,
this
don't
one
even
right
do the
here?
forehead. You see how he tried to be slick? Tyrone, we're not in. Look, Divine's not
All right,
here. Nagwal's
is
not
this
here.
better?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Here, hey, salam alaikum, brother. How you doing? Tyrone, I
Doing
want you to
well.
be a part. I want you to be a part of this conversation, but you just gotta have to be quiet because we're not talking about Native Americans in America today. You know, Tyrone. We're only talking about Africans, about Africa. So
So
I don't think you
I'm
can.
not African. I'm not Muslim. I
No,
don't
I don't.
know.
I know. Well, I don't think you can have anything positive to say in this conversation because, like, I know how you roll. You know.
Wait, hold on. What are you, Tyrone? Are you Black American?
I'm Muskogee Creek.
Oh man.
What's wrong with
Hold
that?
on, guys. Here, Tyrone. No, y'all don't know Tyrone. As soon as you make fun of him, he's gonna roast me. He's gonna do all. Okay, Tyrone. This is an African panel, my brother. So just please, just say what you are. We're gonna respect
I
you,
can
brother.
chill with Africans. I can listen
All
to
right,
them
so
and
just
go.
chill. Then I
He
hope you
sounds
can
Black
chill.
American.
Well,
What
okay.
is a
So
sounding
listen.
Black American?
He sounds like them
It,
barbaric people. Like, shut the
Oh
fuck
wait,
up,
okay,
Tyrone.
Barbaric people. I'm not.
Tyrone.
Barbaric
Just
people.
hey, just mute up, Tyrone. Just mute up and listen if you want to learn from Africans. All right, we don't want to hear about that
Wait,
we're African booty scratcher. We don't want to hear all that bullshit that you talk when you talk to other
what
people
was
that are
that?
talking
What was
shit to
that
you.
comment she was saying about?
Hold on,
What was
Tyrone.
that?
Just mute up for me, please, Tyrone, because I will allow you up here, but I can't have you like interrupting us African people talking amongst each other. We're not going to talk about you and your lineage and what you believe, brother. Just hang out. But with that, let's go ahead and introduce the sister up here.
Who's the
Let's
barbarian
leave
she was
Tyrone.
saying?
I think Tyrone is going to learn a lot today, and I don't need to hear from him, and we don't need to hear from him. You know, he doesn't need to hear from us, but he's going to hang out here for a little bit. Tyrone, if you start acting up, you know what I'm going to do. But regardless of the fact, I appreciate everybody for being patient. Let's go introduce the new other person on Teacup now. Her name is I don't know. Are those Munat? And then there goes Tyrone. Thank you, Tyrone, for not crashing out on this panel because you already know. But regardless of the fact, sorry for that, guys. Manu, are you there? She's teacupped up. All right, so I think she
Who was
just
the
came here
barbarian?
to. I
What did
think
you
she just
say?
only came here to troll Tyrone, but Tyrone deserves. Tyrone is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to.
No. She said he sounds Black American. The barbarians. I thought she said.
I heard that too, bro. All right,
Well,
we got East Dallas.
Vibes, I gotta go. But
Thank you,
thank
sister.
you as
You already
usual.
know.
And I can't deal with old girl earlier since she done cussed me out so many times.
Hey, were you listening while we were talking, or were you not there?
I part of the time I was there and part of it I wasn't. I had
Yeah,
some
I
stuff to
kept
do.
skipping you, and I didn't want you to feel bad because I kept skipping you because you went.
No, not at all.
All
I
right,
just
sister.
can't deal with ignorance. And
I know, and I appreciate you for being. I wanted to invite you up and not have her there just talking. But as soon as you showed up, she didn't call you out, and I just wanted to be neutral. You know,
like that's gonna
I
be
can't have you
hard.
guys arguing. I can't have you guys arguing back and
Exactly, and
forth.
that's why I'm just saying I will not be on here if she because I trigger her. So I wasn't even tripping. After a while, I can be quiet. I know how to do it because she ain't said nothing I ain't heard 1,000 times before. But I can't do it. I just cannot. My
Yeah, I
patience
can't do it
is
either.
done.
But I
You know,
appreciate you for coming
people.
in. Yeah,
Well,
I
go ahead.
appreciate you.
Oh,
I got you.
absolutely. I know it, and you know I love you dearly. So have a good live. Y'all keep
Likewise,
being
sister.
nice to each other and listening and learning, and this is the way it's supposed to be. So see you later.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. Subhanallah. All right. East Dallas, you're up next, bro. I know. Homegirl just came up here. Homegirl, we talk. Let me come to you right after, okay? East Dallas, go ahead, introduce yourself. I know. I tried to come up to, but I'll come right after, okay? I promise. East Dallas, go ahead, introduce yourself to the panel, and then if you want to respond to anything you've heard or respond to the prompt, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, this is East Dallas finest. Goddamn. It's a African, Muslim, and Arabism in Africa. You mean like the Moors and stuff?
whatever context that you have from Islam, and I guess if you want to start there, but
Well,
most
about them,
African people. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
yeah. Only thing I know about them is, they came over there, and like, I don't know, but Africa used to be, more in the voodoo and like the, tribal tradition. That's what I'm into. I'm into like, what I'm saying, the original. I don't go by the Abrahamic religions like, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. I don't go by them. I'm more in touch with the ancestors. And like, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. But a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, that's evil. That's evil. And I'm like, bro, that's what the slave master wants you to think, that it's evil. They don't want you to be free. You know what I'm saying? They want you to worship the white Jesus.
Okay, so is worship the
That's
devil
how I feel.
freedom? So you're saying like you're gonna connect with the demonic world?
No.
You said voodoo.
Yeah, that's not demonic though.
What is voodoo? What is voodoo in your context?
It's a spiritual practice. It's
Okay.
not evil. It's not something original that the people of the land already had before the slave masters and conquistadors came and forced their Abrahamic religion onto them through grape and unaliving.
Wait. Isn't voodoo like
Muna, before you speak, I need you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what religion you believe in before you start questioning everybody. Go ahead.
Okay. So first, I want to ask you a question for the prompt. Is it it looks like a statement. So what's the question?
So it's a up in the air statement. Yeah, it's not a question. It's like, well, you're how do you respond to what you're looking at? So I put up like very, very basic things, right? African Muslims and Arabism in Africa.
Yeah.
So I want to hear how you respond to that before I give you my context about what I was thinking about.
Okay, so like for the, Arabism, yes, there's Arabs in Africa, especially in North Africa, like Morocco, Libya, so many parts in North Africa. So, and when we talk about African Muslims, yes, there are a lot of African Muslims. There's Nigerians that are Muslim, East Africans that are Muslim, so it's just a religion. But
Sister, I appreciate that. But what are you? Can you introduce
I'm
yourself
Muslim.
so we can understand?
I'm Muslim, and my name is Muna.
Okay. And what denomination of Muslim are you, sister?
I'm Sunni.
You're Sunni. Okay. Thank you. That's all. So before, you know what I mean? I just want to get a good concept of where you're coming from before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the panel.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank
Okay.
you.
So that's how I want to introduce you, sister. I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
respect
come
all-
at you crazy.
I respect all religions. I respect all religions. I just do my own thing.
So again, brother, if you do your own thing, right? When we have people speak about a subject, right, we want to make sure that they understand the whole concept of what we're talking about. Now,
Okay.
if you have something to say on it, right, that would be. This is why I let everybody introduce themselves the way they
I think
introduce
it's
themselves.
just cool. My first baby mama, her daddy Muslim. They Pakistani. You know what I'm saying? And I met a lot of Muslims in prison too. It's a bunch of them. They deep as hell. And then, well, me, I'm not. I didn't join because I'm like, that's not my thing. But a lot of black folks, they join because you deep as hell. It's like you in a gang. They're really like a gang, bro. Like a family. I'm for real, bro. You miss, man.
No.
You know how
It's
it's 100
Okay,
of them
hold
coming,
on.
boy.
Yo, East Dallas, come on now.
They are.
East Dallas,
In
you have to
prison?
be in a gang to survive in the prison system in America. So whether
In
that be a
Texas,
religion or whether that be
yeah.
an actual gang,
Because
whether you
they was
be
telling me that
nah. Hold on. You talking about gang politics now, and that's
yeah.
different, bro. You're not
I'm talking
gonna
about Texas
bring
though.
in religion. Listen. Okay, so
So in
But I didn't
in
have
the
to join
prison system.
nothing because they
Okay,
tried to tell me I couldn't
so
eat with
now
black people.
so what were you in? You were in county or you were in
No,
prison?
this is
Like,
TDC, Texas Department of
okay,
Criminal Justice.
okay, so you've never even experienced it, but you're talking about it.
I've been there. TDC.
Okay, so you've been
5
okay.
years.
My bad, bro.
Yeah,
So
5
again,
years.
when you saw, okay, so what was your side? What did you pledge to when you went to the gang? When you went to prison, not to say that you even were administering a gang. What gang did you come from, and
Oh
just give us
no! When you
that
go
perspective.
into the intake, they're looking at my tattoos and they're trying to. The GI, which is the gang investigator, is looking at my tattoos, saying, "What does these Dallas mean? Why do you have the downtown buildings? You're one of those." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't have any stars tatted on me, cowboys, or none of that. So I'm not one of those." That's a prison gang like the Mexicans, the Tango Blast, but I was never with them.
Tango Blast, I've
Yeah,
heard
they
of
kept
Tango.
trying to recruit me, but I didn't want to join them because they were telling me you can't eat with the negros, you know.
What?
So
Well, that's
like,
funny. Yeah, did
and
you
I was
fit
like,
the?
I'm not
Are you
going under anybody's
biracial or
rule.
something? Are you biracial?
No, I'm full Mexican, but you gotta understand what part of Mexico my people from. We tall with the good hair, you know what I'm saying? And cause we Afro
You're
Mexican,
tall.
we got
You
the good hair like the
tall and
pharaoh.
handsome. You tall, dark, and
Well,
handsome.
I'm not. I'm light skinned, but my little brother
Tango
darker than me.
Blast. Well,
But
we got our Mexicans that are dark skinned, right? Indígenas,
yeah,
¿verdad?
I
Ya
have
lo
family
sabes.
like that.
So listen, bro. Listen.
You know I'm Afro Mexican, but they were trying to get me to ride with the Mexicans. But I like, look, I'm not riding with now nigga because I don't do that because I don't follow rules. I'm not gonna be like, oh, mandatory meeting. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do it. Like, nah, bro, I
But
don't follow
why
rules.
didn't you hook up with the Muslims? Like, or why didn't you?
Oh no,
Okay, so
because I'm not
what
gonna
side did you pick? What side did you
because
pick?
a lot of people doing that are followers that join other things, And then I'm like, this nigga still eating pork rinds over here in the day room, but
Ain't
you ain't really
Muslim.
you. And then when the Ramadan, they give them niggas a feast, bro, like big ass place, right? So they not supposed to eat all day, nigga. You been eating all day, like you just riding with that for
Oh,
protection,
okay.
like
So you a little
just
jelly
to
because they
ride
got
the
more
wave.
food on their plate. You a little
Just
more jelly because they got food on their plate.
Oh no, I'm not tripping on that. It's not that. I'm just saying a lot of them get down with it just to feel accepted. So that's the thing. I don't seek acceptance from
So East,
outside
you like
sources.
me? You Afro Mexican?
Yeah, I told you last time.
All right,
But
I'm
I don't.
Afro Mexican, brother.
Yeah, I know you
East.
told me, but I don't seek acceptance from organization. Like if
So
anything,
okay,
I
brother.
start my own cult. Like because I'm a leader. I'm you know what I'm saying. If I wanted to, I could start my own
Nah,
cult
no,
instead of
East
joining a
Dallas.
cult.
I'm not here to stick out the rest. Like if my family's Muslim or if my family's Christian, like that's what we are. That's how I grew up. It's not really
Oh
much
yeah.
about a gang. You feel me? So it's not. I get what you're saying and where you're at, and how you see things, but it's
Yeah, but I
not.
mean,
It's
I
not
don't
the
trip on
same
my
for
family
everybody, my
for.
brother.
I don't trip on
So
my
so we
family for
can't
having that.
see the rest of our family as gang members in prison. Like that's not how we see
Oh
religion and
no,
how
of
it's.
course not.
So listen, Dallas, listen. Though this is not how we're not looking at it from that mind frame. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can tell what you're saying. I can definitely understand what you're saying, but there's other aspects. It's multifaceted about how people come into the religion, how people
Oh
come
yeah.
into a culture.
Some
Okay.
people, like I know this one dude, he's a Salvadorian, but he's marrying a Palestinian girl, right? But he converted to Islam, so her parents will accept him, type of deal. So he do all his,
Yeah,
like
of course.
that happens too.
You fit in. You get in where you fit in.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, bro.
And I mean, it's
I'm
cool.
not talking about that. I'm not talking about that, Dallas. Again, brother. When Malcolm X, when he went to jail, he fit in with the Muslims, right? They take the
Yeah.
Shahada. They're in a group, right? That group is a religious group, and they protect themselves, but it's not a gang. The way you're looking at it, brother, they're just protecting their own constituents. It's just like anything else. You want to start your own gang, right? You want to
can.
be your own cult. Listen.
Anybody
You want to
can.
be your own. Listen, Dallas. You want to be your own cult? That's fine, bro. Do your thing, but don't be like I'm not part of that because that's not what. You can say all that. You can start your own cult. But like they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do for the
Oh yeah, I don't be tripping on it.
there's more
But
listen, there's more elements. It's the way you practice your religion. It's your language, right? You speak
exactly.
Arabic. You speak Spanish. You speak Arabic. You know that? Half of Spanish is Arabic, my brother.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I
So,
know how to write it too. I don't.
okay. So, long story short, it's not about just you just joining again. You ain't getting jumped in Islam. You're not getting jumped in. All right.
No, that's the
It's not the
easy part
same.
about it. That's
It's
the
not the
easy part.
same. No. You act like it's the easy part about it because that's the shit that. So in your own cult, how many beatings does your new member have to take for them to like prove to you? Why can't they just prove to their higher creator? Why do they have to prove shit to you as
Oh
the
no, I
leader of the
wouldn't beat
cult?
nobody up. I
As
wouldn't
the
beat
leader of
nobody
the
up.
cult, right? You said you're gonna start your own cult.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't join the thing where you got to let two
Nah.
people your
So
size.
again, you're vulnerable, nigga. Everybody's gonna jump on you. You're gonna have to pick a side. You're not gonna just come in there thinking you're gonna run shit.
I'm not
You
picking
know
no. I'm
that,
not joining
Dallas. You
nothing.
know that. No,
I'm not
Dallas,
joining
you
no religion
no,
or gang.
Dallas, you by yourself trying to start a cult in a prison that's already
No, not in
ran?
prison. I'm not in prison.
Okay,
I'm
wherever
not
you
saying
were,
that.
you're not starting shit. Maybe you can start some shit, but like
In the world, you
you
can.
you hear
These
what I'm
people go for
saying though.
everything.
You see how you're looking at these religions and thinking of them as a gang. I don't want you to do that.
Oh no, I'm not looking at it as a gang. I'm just saying Islam. A lot of people join it like that for protection, just like anything else. You know. But I mean, I respect everyone's. You know, I got a lot of brothers that were Muslim, and I got a lot of them that was 5%ers. You know, which 5% branched off of Islam in New York. You know, so I mean, I take knowledge from everywhere. I done read their books. You know, I done studied Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. I done like read books on all of their subjects, and I take from all of them. So I mean, I respect everyone's religion and stuff. I just, do my own thing in my spiritual practices,
I'm sorry to go off on you. I'm sorry to go off on you, East. I'm just like
Mhm.
I'm looking for like answers towards my people, my stuff, and I know the Muslim thing isn't like it's not like the true aspect of like our people.
I know the Sunnis.
Yeah,
I mean,
so we
not the
got.
Sunnis,
Hold on, Jay. Hold on,
Sufis, the
Jay. Hold
Sufis.
on, Jay.
I know the Sufis. That's the mystical
Right,
branch of Islam.
right. My ex-girlfriend's Sunni, 4 years.
Yeah, but the
Listen.
Sufis are different. The Sufi, they're a branch of
Oh,
Islam, a
sorry.
mystical.
I meant Sufi, not Sunni. Sorry.
Yeah,
I meant it's so funny. It's so funny.
see, I know
Okay,
about all of their spiritual practices.
but again, you're
Yeah.
saying that if they join that, and it's the bandwagon, it's the trend. As soon as
Most
they
of the
come up
time,
there, they want protection. They're just gonna go. No, listen. You said they're just gonna go off, and they're gonna do it just to join the bandwagon. What I'm saying is, some people already are Muslims. They already are Sunnis.
oh no,
They
there is
already
a
are
bunch of true ones.
Sufis, whatever they are. They're gonna join that because that's what they are. It doesn't mean that they're gonna do it because they're
Yeah.
joining the
But I'm just
bandwagon.
saying,
That's
I
the
know there's a
difference.
lot of.
That's the difference I'm telling you. That's the difference
Yeah,
I'm
I
telling
know that. I
you.
know
You hear
that,
me?
but there is a
All
lot of
right.
people that do
So
go
if you
there.
know that, brother, please don't use that religion as like someone like a. I don't know how you have respect for him, but you're also like looking down on it because you're saying that's a getaway. You didn't fight the same way I fought to get. I don't know what your ego or like whatever manhood, machismo that you're pulling on me right now about how you
Oh
have
no,
to
I ain't no
separate yourself
machismo.
from them. Yeah.
No, I didn't I separate myself from everybody because I'm
So
not gonna let
again, brother,
nobody
you're
speak
not
to
going to
me.
survive separated. Okay, you survived, right? But again, brother, you're not going to survive just on your own. Like that's a very egotistical way of looking at life.
You're not
You're going to
surviving
have
on your
to.
own, but you're not under
So
anyone's
who are you
rules.
aligning with? Who are your allies in jail, in prison?
Shit, people that like that's
Yeah.
from Dallas, from my
Again.
hood.
Every other gang that
It don't
has
matter a gang or
allyship,
color
you're not going
though.
to start East
Like
Dallas. You're not going to start up something like just showing up and acting like you run shit in a prison
no,
or
I'm not
in a
running
jail.
shit. I'm just cutting people hair. I'm a barber. The fuck? I'm cutting people hair and
bro,
sending texts.
you're not even listening to me. You're not even listening to me, East Dallas. You're not.
The only people that
Okay,
I
so
fought was
keep
Mexicans.
cutting hair, bro. Keep cutting hair.
The only
Again,
people I
you
got
ain't
into it
running
with was
shit.
Mexicans.
You ain't running shit in a jail cell being a barber. Okay, don't judge people that go to Islam,
go to a gang set that choose survival over getting their ass raped. Okay, don't look down on people that don't want to be vulnerable with other motherfuckers that are over there, predators looking for people to turn upside down. Okay, you can
Yeah.
stay a barber,
No, I'm not
cut
looking
hair,
down.
and mind your business.
Yeah,
Don't be
bro.
talking about.
Why you gotta say that?
Hold on, J Money. Hold on, J Money. East Dallas. Don't speak on people that join a gang or join a religion when they're in jail, bro. They're
No, I know
looking
them
for
niggas. I done
protection.
studied their
They're
religion.
looking
That's
for
what I'm telling
protection.
you.
They're looking for just because you cut hair and you get by, just cutting
I done
all.
studied their
Just because
religion.
so again, brother, I'm not talking about whether you did it or not. Don't judge. Don't look down on people that choose a side. You chose to cut hair for every side. That's how you survived. So with that, brother, like East Dallas, I'm just being straight up with you. All right. But if you want to feel like they picked the wrong side and they're bitches because they
Nah,
picked.
I'm not saying any. I never said that though.
No.
That
Well,
no one's a
that's
bitch
how
who
it sounded like to
picked the
me.
wrong side.
That's how it sounded. That's how it sounded to me.
Because
Bro. You
everyone's
said
gonna believe what they want to believe. You know what I'm saying?
so. They
That's
believe that you can give them the best haircut. That's what they believe. But obviously, like you might not be given the best haircuts in jail.
yeah, with the
And
comb
that's
and
what they
razor
believe. That's what
or
they
with the
believe, though.
clippers.
So please, bro, don't. So they'll convert. They'll go from your haircut to another barber, and you'll lose a client that quick. So listen. Don't judge someone based
Nah,
off
you're
of.
not making sense, bro. I'm not
I'm not
judging
making
them
sense.
niggas.
How much sense do I need to make? So when you look down on people because they join a gang or they join a religion in jail instead of joining your barbershop to be a clipper for life in jail.
No, you don't gotta join my barbershop.
All right. Okay. So
You can go
again,
to whoever.
no one's judging you. You started judging people for doing that, for joining a religion or joining a gang. You chose to do something for yourself, and I'm grateful for that. I'm happy you found. But you're bouncing around. You're not for anybody. You're not even for yourself.
No, I mean
You're
I'm
for
not a
yourself.
follower.
But you're not letting other brothers in. Are you showing other brothers how to clip hair in jail? Are you showing them the way to
Yeah,
get
I
out
done
of?
taught people how to do it.
You're
I
showing
even gave it to
brothers
Stephen
and
D.
sisters how to get out of gangs by joining your barbershop classes.
Oh no, I don't give a damn what they do. Either
So
it's smoke
exactly. So
K2
don't. Okay. So if you
I
don't give
sell
a
them
fuck about our
K2 too.
people, if you don't give a fuck about our people, stay out of what people do to survive in jail, brother. That's all I'm saying.
All
Like
you gotta do is get some
you're
K2 and sell it to
nah.
them.
I have to put
go
it to you like
crazy.
that, brother. Because I'm sorry, and maybe
And
you
then I
know
sell
what?
cheesecakes too.
I'm a
I
little
sell them to
tipsy. I'm a little
K2.
tipsy.
Hey,
No,
he's
you can sell your fucking cakes if you
Hey,
want to do that. If you want to make
And
more money,
K2
if
too.
you want to make more money than fucking cutting hair, sell your cheeks, nigga. Like
Hey,
it don't matter, bro. Don't start, please. But bro,
Vibes,
East
say it
Are
Dallas,
you
I'm just saying,
drunk? Vibes.
bro, listen, bro. Don't speak on people that join a religion or a gang. You chose not to. Don't look down on people that do so for survival purposes. You saved your cheeks for cutting hair. Other people can't fucking cut
Nah, I didn't
hair.
say my
You're
cheeks
not
for
gonna
cutting
judge.
hair.
You're not gonna
That's
judge
just a
people because
side
they can't
hustle.
cut hair like you. You cut niggas' balls hairs. You cut niggas' ass hairs. Like nobody cares. You feel me? Like
Why are
don't
you so
look down
mad,
on people.
Vibes?
Don't look down on East Dallas. Don't look down on people. That's all I'm asking.
I'm not
All right.
looking down on them niggas.
All
They the
right.
ones that look down
That's
whenever they see that. Whenever they see you with a necklace, they're like, "Oh, that there is idolatry." I'm like, "Bro, look, I'm not even telling you nothing about your practices. Why are you worried about mine?" And then they always it's them and the Christians always. Well, the Christians is worse.
how did
Christians
you
is
grow up
worse.
though? How did you grow up? East? Are you Catholic? Are you Christian? How'd
Oh
you grow
no,
up?
my mama never forced that on us.
All
Like
right. Well,
they
how
never
did
make
she
us go
grow
to
up though?
church.
She was atheist. She was just an atheist.
Nah, them niggas used to be Catholic, and then my granny and them,
How you gonna
my
call your
uncle.
granny and your parents niggas, man? You ain't even a
No, look,
nigga. How you gonna call them niggas?
my granny was
Tu
they was
abuelita,
Catholic
your
back in
abuelita
the
would have
day.
said, "I'm not no negro. No me hablas negro. No me
She
digas
was
negro."
though. She was though. She was dark as that nigga on that camel right there. But anyways,
Afro.
my uncle had a church over here. Man, he sold it, bro. He live in Roy City now. He got a big ass ranch with goats and everything, bro, and cows. He be
All
selling
right.
goat milk. But he had a church in the hood in East Dallas, forever. And man, he used to be making bankroll. And then he had a house in Lakewood by the white folks. Man, he sold both of them and moved to the country, bro. He was smart. But like me, I was never into it. You know, my granny sometimes she would force us to go, but I was never into it, you know. And even the Catholic one, when we did go on December 12th and downtown, and they have the Virgen, I didn't feel it, you know. I'm just like, nah, this don't feel right. And you know, just growing up and looking at all the stuff on the news about the, you know, the child stuff and all that, and I was just like, you know, this something ain't for me, you know.
That's a
And I
colonized
just went my own
language.
path.
All right, look, let me apologize to you, East Dallas. I'm very like very sentimental about this because my father did a lot of time in jail, you know, and he had to survive, you know, and so I'm gonna take this a little too personal, East Dallas, but you're Afro Mexican, I'm Afro Mexican, you know, and when I say all this shit, I just I'm sorry, I apologize, all right. J Money's on the panel. J Money, speak on this. You can't speak on Afro Mexicans because you're Somali. You can't even speak on Eritreans, right, J Money? You were talking mad shit last time. I'm only half Eritrean. Yeah. I'm on your ass now. J Money. Nah. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself and if you have anything to say on the phone.
Oh no, hey man, I'm Somalian, East African, Horn African, Kushite, you know, the original motherfuckers. But anyways, brothers, I ain't got nothing to say. I don't, you know, I haven't been here for a while. But that brother, I think he said something about people joining Islam because of protection in prison. Brother, is the fastest growing religion in the whole entire world. You know, pretty soon, there's all these countries you see in the West, they're gonna be Muslim, man. The UK, the US, you just can't stop it, brother. It's the truth. You know what I mean? And so, you know, and it is the original religion. It is the first religion of Africa. It is the number one religion. And you just, you know, like it's the fastest growing religion, man. And they're trying to stop it. They just can't, bro. So, and you already, you know, to go against it, maybe all other religions have to combine and become one. But there's only two ways, man: the false and the truth, brother. And you can't stop the truth. They're trying hard though, and that's where I land, my brother.
Oh, thank you. Waka, welcome to the panel, Waka. My New Zealand brother. I'm a little tipsy. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little too hard on East Dallas, man. We started talking about blood in and blood
no wonder
out.
you were
East Dallas.
sounding like that. Hey, Brother Vibes. No wonder you were sounding like that. I was wondering why. Oh, yeah, must have had a six-pack.
No, I got a little too personal with East Dallas. I apologize to East Dallas, man. I'm dealing with a lot of shit right now, and hearing people speak on the religion and not understanding it in full. But I can't blame East Dallas. He's just telling me what he's been through, and so that's why I apologize to the brother.
But what faith are you, Brother Vibes?
So I grew up Catholic, right? And then I dated a woman that I was about to marry, right? For 4 years. I was about to be Muslim, you know. I took the Shahada, you know. I love Malcolm X. I love Muhammad Ali. I love shut up, Jay Money. Shut up, Jay Money. I'm gonna mute you. And then my dad his family was half Muslim, half Christian, you know. I can't look down upon people that. So the whole reason of the prompt was because people were talking down on Islam because of the Arabism in Africa right now in the present day, how they're taking advantage of African people. You know what the
the Middle East, what the Arabs in the Middle East are doing to the Africans in Africa. And so obviously it's an unfortunate situation. Let's not laugh about it, right? But let's also not be disingenuous and classify anybody that speaks Arabic, anybody that is following Islam, that they are a part of this, you know? Like the brother Jay Money has said before, Islam started in Africa, right? It's an African concept.
Adam, my brother.
Okay, Adam. And then on top of that, there are African traditional people before
Hey,
Islam.
can I say one
No,
thing?
hold on, Jay Money. Hold on.
Please
Let me
add,
land.
man, I'm about to go to work. I'm about to go to work.
It's Waka's
I'm about to go to work. Let me add one
turn.
thing, brother.
I thought you did.
Let me add one thing.
Jay Money,
Yeah.
hurry up.
Get off on another plane.
Yo. You
He
guys
didn't
say
land it and
Abraham.
choked off.
Hey, man, come on.
Go
please.
ahead.
Switching flights. Okay.
Let me just say one thing, my brothers. So you hear the Abrahamic religions. So first of all, let me tell you guys, Abraham was a black man. He was an African, and his wife, Hajra, she was also an African. She was East African. She was a Cushite. Also, the wife of Moses was a Cushite. She was Somalian. You know what I mean? But let me say this. Abraham was a black man. And from a black man come the Jews and the Arabs of the Middle East. So Abrahamic religions, these are African religions because this is an African man. So find out the identity of Abraham. And I can elaborate, I can go deep into it. But when you guys say Abrahamic religions, oh my God, it's so foreign. You don't know history, brother. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? You gotta know who Abraham was. What was his identity? And his identity is African. He was East African. He was also a Cushite, and he was a part of the Cush kingdom. And he was going against a man by the name of Nimrod, who himself was the son of Cush. God damn it. You see how I'm connecting the dots for you guys, man. So who is he going against? That was his people. The king who was the king.
Well, those dots are already connected, my brother.
And so where I'm landing is Abraham. He was a Cushite. He was a black man. He was African, and come from him these people and these. But anyways, the religion of Islam comes before Abraham. It came with Adam, who was also an African, who was created in the image of God himself. Let me say that one more time, my brother. Adam lived in Africa, and he was a black man, and he was created in the image of man. And this is what Islam teaches us, not Christianity, because Christianity says God is white. And that's where we disagree, my friends. Deuces.
Shukran. Okay, Waka. Sorry that Jay Money interrupted you. Go ahead, Waka. Thank you for being patient.
Oh well, no. I do agree with what he was saying there about Abraham. Absolutely, and again, unfortunately, Christianity has whitewashed, that faith. But however, I'm not too fussed on whatever faith you come from or religion you come from. I think, what do you reckon? If we actually encouraged each other to follow our Creator, right, wholeheartedly, right, I think that would settle a lot of what's going on in terms of division. And we stay in your lane, especially if you're happy in your faith and your religion. Stay in your lane, and there's no need to jump from here to there. But anyway, that's the way I look at it. We just encourage one another to grow closer to our Creator, whoever that may be, whether it be Yahweh, Allah. I think we'll be in a better place. Yeah, I'm done, brother.
Okay, Waka. Let me start my live again. We're gonna change the subject just to get the algorithm. Waka, I'm gonna invite you right back up. Okay, we're gonna start something else because this
Yeah, all good, brother.
we've been up here for a while.